so I can
What do you want me to check on my face?
Hey everybody.
I'm done. You can put it away.
Sorry,
Wow.
everyone is very loud.
Impressive.
Started right off.
I got very excited.
So rude.
I was like, oh,
Was it
that's
the
right.
shirt?
That's right.
What was the shirt?
It was the shirt. You're right.
Okay,
What does this sound
I
like?
had
El
to just
Jaco?
check sound. Hey, could you, man? But yes, I'm very excited to play this.
Yes, that's what it
I am
says.
very tired today, so I got my cup of coffee.
Noob of Arms is here. Alright,
So hopefully...
it's 9:30.
Oh god.
Let's begin.
So yeah,
Begin.
let's
Picking
get
up
into
from
it.
last time.
When you
What?
change to that, your audio changes.
Oh, hang on. My window
This?
capture is fucked
Yes.
up.
Yeah, your audio changed.
Very weird. I don't know why.
It's probably...
It's
for
going
some
through
reason.
webcam, I guess.
Hang on.
You have to disable the audio capture in the webcam.
Window
Uh-huh.
capture.
Oh, that's really weird.
Why?
I was so close.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to do monitor capture. Great. Just another thing that's
How are you doing
a
today,
little
Cooch Man?
funky with everything, I guess.
Is that better?
Yes, that's back.
Display
Okay,
capture.
good.
Okay,
Picking
there
up
it
from
is.
last time. The party barely escaped the Durst household, which has come to colloquially be known as the Death House, because we have lost our first, hopefully not our last, party member to the house.
Hopefully not our last, you say.
Crawling out from the guts of the house after it opens a way out, almost thrilled, having devoured one of the party.
Yes,
you
look, that was
four
why we were
make
laughing
your
so
way
hard. We're like,
towards
oh
the Blood
goodness,
of the
the
Vine
irony.
Tavern, which you only find out the name from a faded wood sign which hangs out front, barely making your way inside in the darkening hours of that dreadful first day at Barovia. It has only been a scant 24 hours since entering Barovia itself. Now, however, the party has had a chance
I'm
to
doing
rest.
pretty good,
You have
Coochie
gotten your
Man.
full 8 hours of
Like
sleep.
I said, I'm tired though.
Uninterrupted, thankfully, because
But
nobody
I'm
said
doing well.
that they were necessarily keeping watch. But nothing strange occurred in particular. However, I do want to ask, so that you do have the opportunity to roleplay if you wanted to, is there anything anybody did in particular, either before or after you fell asleep, winded, exhausted, aged beyond your years, at the Blood of the Vine?
I threw the man on the bed.
Oh.
I have a non-related question.
A non-related question from Round Frog. That's a great way to start the first 5 minutes of the
I'm
stream. What is it?
sorry. I'm trying to put the Discord window up and it's just a black box. I don't know why.
On Streamlabs?
Yes, I did it's like anytime I try to capture a window, it's just a black box.
Does he really, Coochie Man? That's so funny.
Yeah, 'cause
You
it's
may
a-
want to use application capture instead.
But while they're doing this,
It may make it
we were
easier,
able to level
because
up.
one of the two
So
always turns up a black box.
we switched out one
If
of
it still
our
gives you a problem,
spells
try to pop
for
out
cure
the window.
wounds. So we have a
There
heal
should be
now.
a
Yeah, I
button
have
when
a
We don't
you
have
come
illusory
full screen. You do
script
have it popped
anymore.
up? Okay.
And then we got calm
if that
emotions
isn't working with
as
window
well.
capture, then give
So-
application capture a try, I would say.
Hopefully this
Which one's
works
that?
better,
It should be
especially
on
since we
your-
lost our
on your
cleric.
capture.
It doesn't say application.
It should say application.
That's hilarious, Coochie
Yeah,
Man.
it should exactly
So yeah,
say
we got
application
that.
capture. While Frog is doing fixing things, does any of the other three of you, we'll get to Rex's new character who had his own trials and tribulations getting here, but Crane, Andril, and Barum, did you guys do anything in particular during your stay at the Blood of the Vine for the night?
I went and collapsed on a bed and slept. That is
Sounds
all.
great. And you know what? It did you such a power of good, the restorative power of sleep, that you have been restored to your previous maximum HP.
Hallelujah!
It is also time, because you have leveled up to level 3, to roll your hit dice, or to take the average, whichever you choose, to increase your HP for making it to level 3.
Okay,
That means you either take 5 and add your constitution modifier, or you can actually roll the d8 and then add your con mod, whichever you feel like doing.
You know what? Let's just do the hit dice because it's okay if it's lower. I've been rolling with 1 HP. Anything's better, right?
Let's go crazy, baby. That's right.
I also checked and
which one do I hit?
determined, I believe that you had 15 HP previously because you have a really high con.
It was
so
15?
You're going to, right, it was 15.
Okay.
And you're going to, whatever you roll, add your con to that, and then add that on the 15. And
Okay.
that's your new maximum
What am I
HP.
rolling?
You should be able to just roll a d8.
A
Just
D8?
hit /roll space 1d8.
Yeah.
I got it figured out.
New alarms! The hooker got out of the house. He can finally have a cam.
So it's not that
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
What
Oh.
did you roll?
A 1.
So,
looks like you're
that
sticking with
roll.
the one health.
you get 1 plus con is 2, 3 extra HP, bringing your total HP now to 18.
Hey, you know what?
And you do set your current HP to 18
Same.
as well because you've had a full rest.
Heck yeah.
You also get back all your spell
All my
slots.
spells. Perfect.
And because you're level 3 for a bard, you have 4 first level spell slots now and 2 second level spell slots.
Perfect.
And I've also added the spells that you listed, so any of those you can cast as long as you have a slot available of the appropriate type.
Konami's like, this is the best fucking game of D&D I've ever.
I know, right? I'm like,
Also-
heck yeah. I
Also
haven't
keep in
had
mind if
full
you're a
HP in
spellcaster-
forever.
Also keep in mind if you're a spellcaster, many first level spells can also be cast at higher levels, and if they can, it will list at the bottom of the spell any additional effects you get for casting it at a higher slot. Some spells get much stronger if they're cast
Okay.
with a higher slot. So keep
So
that
like
in
my
mind. Not-
cure wounds.
Exactly. Cure
Okay.
Wounds is the best example. Casting Cure Wounds at higher level adds a d8 for every level it's overcast at.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
that's really important.
All
And then,
right.
of course, you can only cast the higher level spells with higher level slots, but
Right.
that should be fairly obvious.
Okay.
All right, Bomb, you had a great sleep. Fruit
yeah.
of Dreams maybe saw Mithras's face once, but you've already bid your farewell. So he can rest easy and you can rest easy. And the lack of the de-aging process felt so wondrous that you practically sprang out of bed the next morning.
Heck yeah.
Beautiful.
What about Andril? Did you do anything in particular, sir?
All right,
Wasted.
boys.
Got
Back to
wasted
full
on the
health.
wine
Heck
that,
yeah,
uh,
it's
Crane
been
bought?
forever.
Damn.
It was plenty of wine.
Oh god, I hope I
Not
don't
the
spill
best
my
wine
coffee
you've
this
had,
time.
especially coming from an
Yeah.
elven perspective.
Doesn't
Elves
matter.
are quite snobby when it comes to wine, but not a terrible wine and plenty strong. Thankfully, for one singular silver piece for an entire bottle of it, great way to get going because you didn't need more than 3 or 4 glasses full to really start feeling it, which is excellent. It comes to your mind that you should probably
If I
ask the
die
bartender
Coochie
where
Man,
you got
I have to make a
such
brand new
vintage,
character.
especially if you want to acquire more.
So
It was blood red in color, and thankfully didn't have any additional ill effects other than producing the buzz which you longed for.
by the way, Lug,
Also
since
didn't disturb
this
your
is your
sleep too bad, although
your
you
first
do wake
session
up
back
with,
in,
actually, given that elven
I
things,
have been rolling with just
probably
1
not even that
HP
bad of a headache
forever
to
because I
begin
got hit
with.
by an
So,
attack that
you
permanently
likewise have
put it down to 1.
recovered all
So I
your
finally
HP.
got it back.
You don't have any spell
thankfully.
slots to recover, but that's okay. You've also rolled for your HP already, so you are now a 23 HP rogue, and you've chosen your subclass. I've added the features onto it, so you have all of that there with you. Crane, did you get up to anything in particular last night?
Just wizard things.
Wizard things?
Read
Wizard
my spell book.
I've
Yeah,
been
chill.
pooping a
Basically,
lot.
I was hiding behind
You did manage
everybody.
to add a few
so
spells to your repertoire.
It was a little bit
which
sad
we've
on my
already talked
end
about.
because I
They
wasn't
should be
able to
on your
really
list.
do anything.
You also, now that you're level 3,
But
a couple
hopefully
things
we'll
I
be
did
able
with
to
your
do more
spreadsheet
and
in
be
particular,
more
because
proactive
for whatever
this time.
reason your class, your wizard school, wasn't baseline in the SRD. I added your school, I added your spells, and I also updated your spell slots because similar to the bard, you also have additional slots to expend with each cast. Unfortunately, Wizard 3 is kind of boring because you didn't get anything really special, but as you continue to sync levels, you will start seeing the return. And It is also time for you to choose.
Sorry,
if
I'm
you would
reading
like
up
to
on
roll
this.
your hit dice, your single
We've been
D6,
playing-
or take the average and add
Let's
your
see.
Constitution modifier.
Little over
which in
a
this case is
month
a
It's
now.
actually
We've been
minus
playing.
one, yeah.
This is our 5th session. We have played.
wizard
We play
things.
once a week,
Just wizard
um,
things.
and there
It was
was
a
at least
D6.
one
It is a
week
D6 to roll
that we
if you
had to
want.
skip because we some people were not
So
available.
I'll just roll a D6.
So I
You
think
are
it's
rolling
been
instead of taking the average? Okay.
about a month and a half.
Okay. You have gained 1 HP.
I wanna say-
Starting off great for
You have
everyone.
gone from 8 to 9
Hi,
HP.
Tortoise.
Oh yeah.
Hell
And you
yeah.
have also full healed. So, also keep in mind, if you have hit dice listed in your character sheet, those also return to 3 because you have hit dice equal to your level. And you
Okay.
spend the hit dice in order to recover during short rests. So, there was a short rest used during the death house, but all of that should be back after a long rest. So everybody has hit dice to spend if they want to recover
Oh,
later.
do I still have my exhaustion, by the way?
And I think
Or
that's
is
it.
that
Crane
gone?
would have just poured over his spellbook. It's on the first part of your character sheet. It should just
Who
say
the
hit
fuck
dice.
Stella
next to
talking?
your-
Shut
I don't know.
up.
She is going for it. Right next to your hit points, you should see 3 out of 3 hit dice. Instead of 0 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. It should just say 3 out of 3 because you've regained your maximum.
It was more that I had a
Alright.
long night
Crane read some
because I was
books.
up really late.
Got Wizard Smart.
Nice.
Gwen, what did you do?
The frog thing.
The frog thing.
Attuned the frog.
Attuned to
Is that what it's called?
what you when you bring the magical essence of a magic item into the essence of your own magic, it is called attunement.
Yeah.
Everybody can only be attuned to a maximum of 3 magical items. This is Gwen's first. You discover that yes, it is a wand of polymorph.
Aw, I'm
I
sorry. Thank you,
believe
Lug.
I
Thanks for
gave
stopping
you
in while
that
you could.
as a PM,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Okay. But yes, it essentially, without giving away too much to the rest of the group, it essentially allows you to cast the polymorph spell on another target a limited number of times.
Question: is there a way I can put that, like what you sent me in the thing?
Is it on my end then, guys?
It was the only thing I didn't get to, but I think I have to end up pulling
Is it buffering for both of you?
out of a different book. Because getting stuff from other books is always the hardest part. Go ahead.
Okay. Also, my viewer says your audio is crusty.
My audio is crusty.
Or crunchy, I'm sorry.
It is
Crunchy.
very crunchy.
I wonder why.
She said crunchy.
It's still doing
Oh, I
well.
can put it.
Heck
I
yeah,
got
I
it,
was.
I figured
Coochie
it out.
Man. I was breeding my wyverns. I was breeding like everything. I bred the Rexes, I bred the wyverns,
Maybe we
bred my snowy owls, bred everything.
do down. There it goes.
But for real, guys, is
Maybe the pre-gain is it.
it like struggling?
Yeah,
For both
I
of
will have
y'all?
to try to get you your wand of polymorph into your inventory. But like
Oh,
I said,
I already
it's from a
like
different
put it
book.
in there.
Okay,
It doesn't have an icon, but it's like in there.
it's there
It's
as long as you remember.
Yeah.
As a quick matter of bookkeeping, what did each of you collect from the death house so that I know?
Oof.
There were some things that you guys needed to. They weren't necessarily of import other than to sell. I think somebody had picked up some gems.
Yeah, I
think somebody
picked
had
up-
picked up some valuable books.
Yeah, I picked up a silver jewelry box with the
I don't have
gold
this.
rings and the platinum pendant.
And you gave me something.
Okay.
didn't you?
I gave
The
you
gold
I
ring.
think a gold ring, one of the gold
Yeah,
rings.
yeah. I
And
got a gold ring,
then
too.
I think I got these 2 books from in there, the
don't
Heart
have
of
that.
Midnight book and the Fantastic Devils and Where to Find Them book.
Okay.
I think those
Yeah.
2 were from in there.
Yeah.
And
And then I think Crane has some
That's it.
books as well that are gold bound but empty.
right.
That might be worth. Okay. I don't know if anybody else had anything, but just
Okay, sounds
for
good.
new players' awareness, there are some items that you'll pick up that you can hold on to them if you want to, but they're more valuable turned into currency of the.
Okay.
Just so you're aware. All right.
Yeah,
I think that's on the bookkeeping. Everybody should be level 3. Go ahead.
Do we still have our our exhaustion, or does that go back down to 0 as
No,
well?
if you
Nope,
if you had exhaustion, that goes away now
That goes away now. Okay.
after a long rest. Yes.
Long
it-
rest cures everything.
Okay, I just wanted to make
technically-
sure.
How many levels of exhaustion was it? Was it only one?
I just had one.
I
Okay.
had one as well.
Technically, it only heals 1 level of exhaustion, but since everybody's at 1, it goes to 0.
Okay.
If you had more levels, it would only go down by 1.
Okay, good to know.
But it takes a lot. It takes an incredible exertion to get to that point. Okay. Unexhausted, healed, ready to face a new day. The sting of the loss of a comrade still sorely felt, but at
What kind of
least
books are
left
you
behind
wanting recommendation
in
for? Like
unmiserable
classics
first
or
day.
just like
The four of
good
you
series?
gradually make your way down into the common
Or both.
room of the Blood of Tavern. It is marginally more busy than it was last night, when only the barkeep, who was quite silent and gave nothing other than a bottle of wine across the counter, was there.
Yes.
There are now. Oh, somebody
was
talking.
waiting
I was
for
looking at.
Ethel.
I was looking at the map to switch people over. What's up?
Do I get more help?
Oh yeah, I thought you rolled.
No, I didn't yet.
Are you sure? Are you lying?
She's
to me?
just trying to
I'm
cheat her
not.
way
God,
into
you have
more help.
17 HP. All right, go ahead and roll.
I'm a druid.
Do you want to take average or what?
Oh goodness.
All right, roll for it. D8.
Well then
This is
really
the
you
one
can't go
time
wrong with
where
any of
the
the
one-
The
classics.
other rolls have been bad.
Obviously, like
Here we
Pride and
go.
Prejudice.
Let's see.
More than half. Nope.
Nope.
Yay.
Nope.
You know, those
What
kind of
Two and
things.
three.
1, 2, and
Wow. Here, quick, let me roll for. Oh wait.
I mean,
3. Nope, he's already got
that's a
it. All
beefy
right,
one.
but do
One you
add your
probably
con to
wouldn't
that.
enjoy as much.
So 3 plus 1,
But
so you now have 21
That one,
HP.
of course, and then
Wow, I'm stocky.
Wow. It must be
really any
nice.
classics. It also kind of depends on the girl. Like, cause like
All
for
right,
me,
now
I love
everybody's HP is set. I
Homer's
think that makes
Iliad and
Andrew
the
a
Odyssey and
rogue
all of
all people,
those.
the tankiest person here.
Also,
just be well read.
really
Just read the
quick,
classics.
I have 4 spell slots. That's right?
Yes, 4 first level, 2 second level. Because you should be
Two
able to
second
scroll down
level?
and see. You have a massive
Okay, yeah,
list
yeah.
of second level spells now, because druids know all their
Yes.
spells but have to prepare. Oh! Barum, you already have all your spells prepared because
Yes.
bard things.
Yes.
Wizard, you know all the spells in your spell book. Druid,
Yes.
you know all druid spells. But after a long rest or a short rest, you must choose which you prepare. You can only prepare a number equal to your Wiz modifier plus your class level. What is your Wiz modifier? 4?
4. Yeah.
4 plus 3. You can pick 7 spells that you have levels for, which is in this case first and second. So you need to
Okay.
pick 7, any combination of first and second level, but you need to pick only 7 total that you have prepared for the day. And it's that little cog on the spellbook.
And the spell slots
That's
still
prepared,
count.
I
So
see.
even if you pick 7 level 2 spells, you can only use X amount per day.
Right.
Could you, man? I
Okay,
can't even.
so I
I'm
can only
dying
use
so
2
much.
per
like-
day, right?
Oh.
2 second level,
mean,
4
Gotcha.
first level. But you can pick
If
7
it's-
to cast from for your pool.
I don't know, man.
You can't cast spells you haven't prepared
Dude,
until you take a
just
short
because
rest
I'm
to fix
married doesn't mean I'm good.
it. Alright, bookkeeping
this
done
kind of-
finally, I think.
It's
don't
nice.
don't I need to prep spells too?
No,
I
you're a wizard, you know all the spells
I would
in
be
your book.
down.
Oh.
As long as
Just
you
don't
have
be
your book,
weird.
you've prepared your spells.
No, TLDR, wizards are dumb. Move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, initially, your choices aren't
Your
as
best
great,
thing
but
would
as
be
you fill up the book, you're going to
to
surpass every other spellcaster.
be
because as long as
honest.
it's
You
in
will
the book,
literally
you
have like
Show interest in
150
what
spells you can
she's
pick from.
reading.
Yeah,
if
well,
she's
100
reading
spells
anything,
per book. So if he gets another book, yes, he can know up to 200 spells.
ask her about what she's reading. Show an interest. Be
Ah,
honest.
got
If you
it.
don't know what
Wizard
it is,
things,
ask
okay.
her to
Yeah, that's
explain it
wizard
to
things.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Power scaling.
Hmm.
You go to the common room. Thankfully, it is more well lit as well. The candles
Honesty is
above
the best
tables
thing.
have been lit. The fire from last night has been stoked and fed, so there's now a cheery fire in the fireplace. Still quite empty in regards to any other tavern which you guys have passed through.
I do not know those ones,
There
Lug.
are only 2 tables with people at them. One of them has a gaggle of girls.
There you go.
Ooh, a gaggle.
Seem
Ooh.
to be in their late 20s, early 30s, and they are chattering to each other in a lowish voice, enough to not be eavesdropped as soon as you walk in, but obviously the noisiest thing in the room. 3 of them chatting with each other, and as you approach, they take notice of you, and one of them even waves a little bit, and the other 2 are kind of like, "Don't let them notice you," kind of thing, and she
Okay,
just
yeah, I
kind
don't
of
know those
flusters
ones.
and goes back to the conversation. They're dressed very colorfully and seem to have darker-ish skin in relation to that of the Barovians that you have seen, suggesting that they are perhaps of the same people.
I walk over to them and talk.
Perhaps of the same people that you had seen that invited you in. You remember Aragal, the man who gave you the letter in the first tavern you were at, coming into Barovia, told you of the Vistani, his people who came and go in caravans and dressed colorfully and traded and brought goods and items from beautiful Barovia. Their costume and their attire,
They are
all
really
of it seems to point
expensive.
to
It
them
makes me
being of
sad.
this subset culture contained within Barovia. Because all the Barovians you've met, like the barkeeper, have been incredibly pale, ghostly faced, dressed very simply in browns and grays, and do not take up any kind of coloration to their... The second table has a very pale, obviously, Barovian younger man, seated across from an elven individual. Very strange to see, since pretty much everybody you've run into has been human so far. Mr. Aaron Darkwater, would you like to describe your character?
Oh.
So basically, this elf, you could very clearly tell that he is nautical. He's wearing typical sailor clothing, a linen shirt, has a blue wool jacket on, wide bottom pants. His
Boots with the
long
fur.
blonde hair is kind of kept up in a ponytail behind him, or not a ponytail, but a what's it called, the low one? Because the ponytail's up at the top of the head. What's the one that's kept down here?
It's
I
still
can't
called
remember.
It's
the
still
name of
called
it.
a ponytail.
Is it still called a ponytail?
It's a
Yeah.
ponytail.
I thought a ponytail had to like arch upward.
No.
It's either a top knot or a ponytail.
Okay,
If it's not high, it's not.
it's not a
knot.
top.
You
but he's got
you
a-
listen
he's
very
got a-
closely near him, and you hear, "Skippers of the wardrobe, chicken."
He has a goatee that hasn't been trimmed in seems like in a few days. Notably, he's also carrying a cutlass on his belt, a boarding axe on the other side,
Yeah,
balance
chicken.
it out, and a crossbow on his back.
There you go.
Hot
A
chicken on a raft in the mud.
Clearly well equipped, but very out of place. Maybe adventurer seated across from this Barovian, who also, upon examining a little bit more closely, seems very finely dressed. Perhaps more of a nobleman. The one who is seated with Mr. Aaron Dark, who you don't know his name yet, but he just described.
Yeah, it's because
Alright, what did the four of you
Techbug had work.
Question really fast.
He didn't get off
So
until
he's
9.
not like shut up. He's not like in our party yet, so we have to like talk to him and stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, if you choose not to hire me, I leave the game forever.
He's just gone.
Character death.
Rex is continuously just sitting in this tavern
Okay,
for the
I
rest
guess
of
I
the
go up to what's his name? Aaron? No,
You
wait.
go to the two-seater, essentially.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I am also an elf of some kind.
Not really, but okay.
Kind of. I'm
Nope.
related.
Wait,
know?
real quick. This actually reminds me of a question that's been bugging me for a while. What exactly does a furbolg look like in this
If a
setting?
giant
'Cause I was always
I'm
elf
very
had a
tall.
baby,
assumption-
Dude,
and if
it
a
is
giant and
possible.
an elf had a baby,
I'm
and
so
it looked
tired.
a little
Okay.
animalistic.
See, for
She-
some
she
reason, I
has
was erring
pale pink
heavier on the
skin.
animal side.
It,
I'm
it
like,
showed
her
up.
thing
It's
does
'cause,
not match her.
Look at my
Yeah.
thing.
It's
Yeah,
because it's because of the giant side. It's not like giant, like hill giant, stupid, like big naked human looking. It's more like a ram's horn giant, like a
Okay.
like I said, like an animalistic giant. In this case, for her
Yeah.
furbolg people, it's more fawn or deer related.
Yes.
So elven
Okay.
facial
We shall
features,
see.
but then you've got these like
I'm feeling a little.
shocking moments
feeling
where
a
the
little bit
animal comes
more,
through more fully, like with the
awake
straight up
right now.
fawn ears. And
They
yes,
go
8
like,
feet
"Woo!"
tall.
Okay.
Very tall,
tall.
scary tall.
Okay.
She comes up
That
to the
makes-
table, and it's not like it's not a gentle. It's
I was thinking more World of Warcraft furball, which is like
no, not at all.
I'm a
Okay.
girl. Okay.
I'm a grill.
You
Well,
have to
I-
realize that I'm gonna dress it up a little bit.
I get that. I'm just like I've had a very hard time trying to like it hasn't mattered with up until this point, but I'm like, okay, I need to really know what
If
she looks
I
like,
fall
because
asleep-
If she's
Just
very
look at the
You'll
picture.
if
probably
she's
have
very
to
verbal, like World of Warcraft
go
verbal,
to
there's
like
gonna be a
Noodle
bigger
or
reaction.
Look
Frog
at the
stream and tell
picture.
them
I
like, hey,
got
no,
fan
He
art
looks-
for
fell
a
asleep, you
reason,
need to wake up.
Rex. I
He
got
looks
it for
exactly
a
like
reason.
him.
Well,
I
it
think I'll
just
be
shows
okay,
your
though.
face. It doesn't show the rest of you.
Yeah, just
True.
imagine I'm just like big girl.
Like I didn't know
She
you
a
were 8 feet
big
tall. I
girl.
thought you were,
She
like,
thick.
4.5 feet tall. It's like
4.5.
my perception of Tyler.
Yeah, I'm a dwarf in real life.
Exactly.
Me
All right,
thinking
okay.
of when you came over the other day, and I was like,
All right, you fucking 6'6" Chad.
So,
All right.
anyways, I go over
I have a
to
picture in my head now.
the dude.
Okay. Which one do you
man.
talk to first?
I talked to the bro, the elf bro.
Oh, okay. Elf bro.
Speak
Talk
to
to
the-
the bro, man.
Aaron,
And I
a
So bro.
8-foot tall, fawn-eared wild woman, because she is dressed in what appears to be
Oh,
forest,
okay, good,
forestal
yeah, I see.
gear, leather breeches and the like. A staff,
Fair, though.
long-handled, with a frog on top of it, approaches.
Aaron kind of tilts his head and looks upward at her. Hello there. What can I help you with?
We killed her before we even got going.
Okay, I'm kind of like just steeled myself from the events that happened yesterday.
Okay. That was
So I'm
quick.
just like, hi, how are you doing? You don't look like you're like the rest of the people in here.
Well, howdy there, motherfucker. Owie.
Howdy there, how's it going?
Well, if I might return the same thing, you don't seem quite as dead-eyed as the others around here.
Thank you, I tried my best to stay looking alive and healthy.
I did my makeup this morning.
I was literally gonna say makeup.
One of
and
my
I'm like,
friends
wait.
was just murdered last night by this giant glue, and,
And
it
I
was
killed
like,
a baby,
oh my
but we
Lord.
good.
I just killed a baby, but like we're fine, we're past that now.
Stabbed
Anyways,
it right in the chest with a knife.
We're recovered.
anyways, if you look behind me, I actually got an adventuring crew, so that's why we're just passing through here.
It ain't like I never killed a baby before anyway. You should have heard of me back in middle school.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
Crane kind of peeks around the mass of a furbolg and just says, yes, forgive my companion. She seems very gung-ho to meet new friends.
Well, I am here too.
Small wizard man.
Well, I must admit that I'm here without my crew, so to meet another one is quite a pleasant sight to see. Might I ask you an interesting question? Did the
Sure.
fog bring you here as well?
Should I say anything?
On a carriage, actually, is what brought us.
Yeah, okay, good job, Craig.
You came on a carriage.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
Aaron,
Um,
if you would like, you can make an insight check for the furbolg's hesitation.
me just
Insight.
sitting.
Bum.
Yeah, no.
Shit.
They came in on a
Ooh.
carriage.
Beautiful.
Interesting.
You look outside and out of the window, you see a carriage. It must have been the one that they came in on.
Perfect timing. Thank you so
You
much. And
you think to yourself and you think, this is the only carriage I see outside. This must be the one that they are referring to. The carriage that they came into. The one that they parked in front of the inn. The only carriage outside. Their carriage.
the carrot.
Our
Very-
carriage.
Very
Their
roundabout thinking.
Our wonderful carriage.
The carriage for the party.
Hey, he rolled a 4, okay? What do you expect? The carriage
Oh, it's
for Cusco.
amazing.
Yeah,
Cusco's
exactly.
carriage.
Cusco's
Yes.
carriage. The carriage for Cusco. And then I kind of like, after I'm like, you know, shocked a little bit, I'm like, yeah, we came in on a carriage, and the fog actually just started happening once we got here. Isn't that just a coinky dink right there?
I wish I still had my buck teeth that I used to have. I put them in. And it's just like
Yep.
green
I already
teeth.
have them, kinda. I kinda
Yeah.
have bunny rabbit teeth, so it's fine.
That'd be quite interesting. See, that fog is what brought me here. I was standing upon the deck of my ship, and we were in the midst of a storm, and my captain steered the boat right for a fog bank, and I found myself here.
I have to cut in really quick. I just mentioned this, and I don't know how many of you guys have seen this in real life, but occasionally when Stella gets upset, one of her what do they call it?
No!
It would be 2 and 4
It's not
incisors.
braces. Not
Is
since
it-
braces,
did that
you
change?
liar. Yes.
She used to close her mouth when she was angry, and she would have a little like tsundere thing that would come out.
A little thing.
The little like her like fourth,
Yeah,
you know, the
thing.
like second and fourth
Yeah.
teeth. It would
It's
like
coming
cover her
back
bottom lip.
Because I didn't wear my retainer.
That is Small Pirate's currently resting face because she lost her front teeth, so she just has the
Yeah, it
thing
is
right
Gucci Man.
now.
I
It's-
fucking
it's-
love Small Pirate.
It came back a
Tag
little
bug
bit.
is
'cause
not
didn't
I
good.
think
wear
Small
at all.
Pirate's legitimately one of my favorite people.
Not saying
I'm
real
so
names.
interested in her development.
Me too. Just wait till
She's
she starts
growing
playing
more
Wizard
and
Man.
more powerful.
Anyway,
Anyway.
Aaron answered a couple questions. His companion is waiting courteously. He isn't butting into the conversation, but you see his
Thanks,
head kind of
bro.
going, Aaron, Furbolg, Aaron, Furbolg, Aaron, Furbolg.
Look, here comes this giant creature over here. I say, what happened to the rest of your crew? Did they stop somewhere else for the night?
Is they dead?
They apparently did not come through the fog with me. Like I said, we steered for the fog. I could not see a thing. The next thing I knew, I found myself in the shed out back.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Yes,
Crane's going to introduce himself, seeing the other guy, of course, looking around.
By the way, this
First,
small man behind
forgive
me, I'm like,
forgive our poor
Pat,
intrusion
pat.
and my lack of manners.
pat, pat, pat,
But I am Crane Ather. Stop that.
I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
Pat that butt.
I am Ismark Koryanovich. And he extends a firm handshake to Crane.
Crane, of course, grabbing it and not to, of
you
course,
sound
seem
like that other feller. I forgot his name, but you know the one.
Crane is going to give a look of already done with the day, wishing he was studying his books and not dealing with all this, but return a gentle smile and a noble smile and shake his hand firmly.
Gwyn
Do
rests her
not,
elbow on top of Crane's head.
Do not trouble yourselves on my behalf. I am interested in hearing all of your stories. We do not get many like you in town. I'm sure you have seen by now. Mr. Aaron here only rolled in a few minutes before you did, through the front door. Did the 4 of you stay the night? Are you not together? The 5 of you?
We did indeed fortunately stay together, and quite the party we are.
As I'm in the background, standing on a table, playing my instruments.
Wait,
Yes, we are indeed a party, one might say.
I am in
take a
high
look
spirits
around
after
and
having
look
my
at the-
health
look
back.
at the bard.
Oh, is that him?
You have a shanty man?
That is Ismark Kolyanovich. That is his picture.
Gwyn is like,
You are Crane. I am pleased to meet you, Mr. Ather. The rest of your party, who are you? And your traveling songster as well. Who's he?
I gesture for the
Frogs.
giant furball currently giggling to herself. Gwyn, perhaps you could at least introduce yourself.
oh yeah, I'm Ilgwyn Kyun, but you can just call me Gwyn. Ain't
Indeed,
no
if that is
thing.
what you wish, my lady.
A pleasure indeed.
Who is this odd bisexual woman?
In his head, all he's thinking is, man, this woman would be really useful for helping to refit the sails.
And who are you, good sir,
I don't have
in the
much
back?
sea legs.
He
don't know.
gestures to Andrew at this point.
I don't know these people.
Oh.
Good answer.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just kidding. He's just kidding.
Do you leave and go to the bar and have a drink by yourself?
Heck yeah.
All right, well, there we go.
He's just a loner type of dude. Don't worry.
He
He
leaves
is.
and goes to the bar and starts drinking by himself.
If it would help, I do not mind buying all of your drinks.
Mmm.
He returns back to the group.
He floats back.
Hello, excuse me, I did know.
Gee.
Hello, my name is Andrew.
I see you. I see metal, my friend. My adventuring friends that I adventure with my friends.
Alec, bring a bottle over. Maybe two.
I told you he'd come around.
Better make it 3.
How
my
about
friend.
3?
I would only ask that you hear me out. I do not expect anything in return, but my family has come into a time of trouble, and most Barovians are unwilling to be of any assistance to me, sadly.
Seem to
And-
be unwilling to be of assistance to anybody.
At this point, Arik, the still completely mute, not talkative bartender, grabs 2, listens to Ismark say maybe 3, shoulders a 3rd one, and brings over 3 bottles over to the table. Ismark slaps 3, actually 1 gold piece. You notice that the cost seems to have been a silver piece when Crane slapped it on the table last night. Ismark seems to trade only in gold.
All right.
As
Alright, I'm
when he
timing you.
deals
Better be
first,
back.
He sets 1 gold coin into his hand, and the bottles are poured. Everybody has wine.
Only
Is
those
Barham
say.
still playing on a table?
I have not noticed anybody. So,
Well, you notice 3 people now because you have some admirers.
ooh,
Whoa.
who are my
like-
admirers?
The
Which,
3
like-
ladies
Heck
seated
yeah!
at the table
Oh.
are starting to cheer for you and to listen to your songs.
Heck yeah!
They don't do anything in particular. They just start tapping their feet to the music, clapping on occasion. The Vistani, especially the one that you had seen with Aragol, did seem to enjoy music in their caravan, and these 3 are really enjoying the performance.
Who
they're being
was the
given.
one that had gotten flustered? That one. Who was that one?
That is the middle one, who, if you
Okay.
ask, introduces herself as Mirabelle.
All of
Yes.
these
Hello,
ladies.
Mirabelle.
Oh
And
my
and I
God.
reach my hand down to pull her up onto the table with me to dance.
Oh.
Let's have her roll a performance check
Heck
and see if
yeah.
she's that into it.
Oh, let's see.
This could be interesting.
It could be.
She
Alright.
falls off the table.
Oh no!
She's
Awkward.
lighter than he thinks she is and just
performance.
flings her.
Throws her over her
Performance should
shoulder.
be a skill.
Skill. Oh, here it is.
Hopefully you're trained in that.
Woo,
Oh.
boy.
Heck yeah!
Dude.
Ooh.
The wine is being poured. Ismark is getting settled into his story, but as he does so, all of you at this smaller table are caught in for a moment when Barham suddenly hauls one of the ladies up onto the table that he's currently dancing at and proceeds to start doing a jig with her.
Crane is
That's
going to
awesome.
freeze halfway as he's about to put the glass to his lips, only to start watching.
Because you
Barham.
notice that this is odd behavior because he's normally like the sad old.
The
You know.
dour one.
Yes.
The other
Exactly.
2 women are starting to catcall and sing along with the music where they can, if they still know any
It
of the
seems as
words.
though our other companion is in high spirits.
Indeed,
think
your
so.
fancy man is quite the player.
Is there cause for celebration,
Not
or
before.
is this normal for her kind?
He was having a rough time, not just yesterday. He's feeling much better, and apparently it has made him far more spry.
What is today but yesterday's tomorrow?
I am sorry to hear that, but I am
AC, is
glad
that
to
you?
see they are better.
Yes, apparently far better than better.
The music continues.
Like betterer.
All right.
Better.
Mirabelle
That's what Gwen
is
says. She's
enjoying
like,
her
he's
dance.
better.
Yes. When I end
Ismark.
when
Oh,
I
go
end
ahead,
my
go ahead.
dance, I give a bow, help her back down, and then I come and join the
The
party.
next one wants to join.
He
Oh,
sees
the next one
Says
wants to
you're all
join?
better.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, I guess I give them all a dance. with
She
them.
introduces herself as Alenka, and she would like a dance as well.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
So I dance with
That is the one
Alinka.
on the-
Ooh,
Alright.
ooh, okay.
Spicy lady.
It seems
Wow.
Barum might be a little bit busy for the next few hours.
Mayhaps. Those are the owners of the tavern.
Oh.
Oh. Well,
They don't get out much, I think.
Dance,
Even for
dance
this time.
harder, bitch.
Dance harder, we may get free wine.
yeah, I hope Barham treats him well.
Oh no.
For Andrew's sake.
They seem to be getting along quite well. They usually yell at their customers. I am pleased to see this. Maybe this will bode well for you.
I am quite the charmer. What can I
love the
say?
nervous laugh. That's all you get from Gwen.
Maybe it'll even gold well for you, if you know what I mean.
Just for the noise purposes and to get Barham back in the conversation, she finishes with all three ladies, so to speak.
He.
And makes
Been
her
there
way
before, man.
over
The
to the
man
tables.
finishes?
Mm-hmm. And Barham seats
Oh, he
himself at the
finishes,
table,
does he?
mildly winded, but feeling
I can
better
imagine.
than he has in hours, days.
Ooh, dude,
possibly.
I've never finished with 3 ladies in a night, so I feel you.
I feel like that would be very windy.
Like, literally, I started talking, Stella was like, oh no!
I knew what was coming, dude.
Ismark applauds at the end of the music and even gives you a standing ovation.
What a
and
gentleman.
standing up, you notice that he is dressed in some finery. Compared to a lot of the Barovians, he has some gild going on his overcoat. Still dressed in the drab manner of his country, but obviously of some kind of landed, wealthy family.
Gwen is
And waits for you to
waking
seat
right
yourself
now.
at the table. That was very good music. We never get music around here anymore. I was very glad to hear it.
Well, I am glad you enjoyed it.
I did very much.
Sorry, I have sing mode, so.
Perfect.
He's
Timing.
still in quite high spirits, it seems.
And what may your name be?
I am Ismark Kolyanovich. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Oh,
The
Singing
pleasure
dragon?
is mine.
That sounds
You
like
will
a
pour you a
tavern.
glass
All right,
and,
you have to open a tavern named the
Singing
Singing
Dragon.
Dragon after
Yeah.
this.
Oh, I like
we will
that.
pour you a glass. Yes, we will get you a glass. Everybody has wine. Everybody is settling in with their glasses. Maybe some of you are on your second one by now.
Wait,
Yeah?
1 second. 1 second.
Oh no.
Oh god.
Let me spice it up.
Oh, great
Hold on, I gotta-
GM, what are you doing?
Now you know how I feel.
Barum, roll for a performance check.
Again?
Yes.
There's a plan
Okay.
apparently.
He got an
I'm
idea.
aware of the plan.
Oh,
I got an
okay.
idea, yes.
I'm firmly aware of the plan.
He is not aware of the plan at all. Don't let him
Typing,
lie to you.
Typing.
He typed, what is the plan? Let me guess. Yep, what is the plan? Okay, confirmed.
What is the
Okay.
plan confirmed?
You wrote a 19. Many patrons start gathering around you and start throwing coins at you. Roll an acrobatics check, Kanani.
There's no one else in this town.
Hold on.
Extra patrons.
Extra
Maybe the-
patrons.
Maybe they're ghosts, you can't tell.
They're coming out of the walls.
There's money falling
That-
from the sky.
So you rolled an 11, so you were able to collect some of the coins. Roll a perception check.
Oh my god.
the the tavern keeper was just there, like throwing coins at him, completely.
19.
mute.
Oh my god. You inspect the coins that got thrown at you, and all of them, when you inspect them closely, fade into a ghosty mist. As of course, this is Barovia, so there are no extra patrons around. However, one of the coins begins to materialize in front of you in your hands, and you see a single gold piece for your efforts.
Heck
With the
yeah!
Of a
Nice.
familiar person on it.
Ooh.
It's
Sharp
George
features.
Washington.
Thank you.
George
Man.
Washington.
No, sharp features.
I
dark
hope you
hair,
enjoyed.
Carved almost with a knife's edge into the inside of the coin. It is
Daddy?
the count that you had seen last night.
Oh.
Strahd von Zarovich.
Oh.
Strahd von Sarvich.
Gwyn, is there something you want to tell us about?
Don't worry.
Dad.
Don't worry
Would,
about
would
it.
you guys like any memories of him? Remember, you know what? It doesn't matter. He'll come again.
He'll come again.
Ah.
So
You've
this is a
gotten one gold
special
piece for your
gold
effort.
coin, or is it just a
Yes.
normal gold coin? So
No, it's a special gold coin.
Ooh.
So do I
Or
put
at
it
least
in
you
the
think
loot?
it is.
Strahd was
At lea-
pleased.
At least you think it is, Barum. Roll perception.
Stop. Fuck you.
We call this fishing for
Didn't I
worms in
just
the
roll a
GM.
perception check? Do I have to roll
But
again?
now you think it's special.
Oh my
I mean, you
god.
could tell it to roll investigation because that's more for
Okay,
luck than
yeah,
it is
yeah,
roll.
okay. Oh, I always forget that's in there because it's not in Pathfinder.
Okay,
It's
so
not.
investigation.
Yes, please.
Yes, roll investigation. It's a special coin. Ooh.
I'll be able to get back to Daddy Ismark soon.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
where do
you.
I put it in my
I'm done.
inventory then?
Gwen is
That's
thankful.
more
Where
what
do
I
you
was
put it in your
asking.
inventory?
Yes.
Let me see. Do you have a storage skill that you can roll for?
there is a
Or...
currency.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm done. I'm done.
Deadbolt's like, kill me
you-
now,
you-
please.
You pocket the coin. It is. You do notice a familiar figure on it. You can't place it exactly. You pocket it because you feel like it may be important for identifying the figure later on.
Okay.
In scene. Happy
Yes, that was
mute.
great. I just wanted to make sure I could just add it with my gold and I didn't have to put it as its own little thing.
No,
That's what I was.
it's
making
okay. Keep a note.
Keep a note.
Sure. Okay.
Keep a note. That is.
Okay. Note taken.
One Strahd.
I'm not
coin.
sure. Is Tyler's frozen? Oh no, he's just pretending.
He's
Okay.
fine.
See, so me saying that though revealed the instant.
Good.
So,
Good job, Peach Man.
after a stirring rendition of Dragon on a Raft, Baron
Great.
makes his way to the table and seats himself after being showered with ghostly money. And
Oh,
hiding
rats
out
put her
his
down, and we're all gonna drink.
The ladies are still eyeing Ismark's table, now Barham's table, really.
Yeah, that's what matters.
And don't make any intrusion from this point, but Ismark begins to settle into his story and his wine. Yes, again, do not feel like you must assist me. I only wished to be kind to strangers. Barovia is often not kind to those who enter our border. I did introduce myself as Ismark Koryanovich, and perhaps you have heard of my father, Koryan Indirovich, the burgomaster of Barovia. He has fallen in the line of service to his town, and it behooves me now to get my sister and myself out of. There's not much left in the town of Barovia here for us. The people have all either fled or have become direct servants to the one who has brought this misfortune upon us all. The devil Strahd. It is my desire to get my sister to safety, and in Barovia, not much safety is to be had, but what can be found in the town of Valaki. It is roughly a day's journey from here, directly westward. If we use the old Svalich road through the woods, if we travel during the day at least, we should not be way late. But if I can get my sister and myself there, we should be safe, at least for the next few days, from Strahd's force. We have spent the last few months holed up in our house in the south of town, evading his monsters and his minions, and sometimes Count himself arriving to bolster them. But by strength of arms, we have managed to keep them at bay for now. I fear our time is coming. But if I can get my father rested and get my sister to safety, I will do my best to assist you and do whatever I can to repay you for this service rendered.
You have not buried your father yet.
He is not buried yet.
That seems odd. How long has he been dead?
Rex, you're not a paladin.
It's still a valid question.
Yeah.
True.
Very valid.
It's not a valid question, but it's a valid question.
It just has the body
only
with
my
him like
sister and I, and we are not able to bear his coffin to his final resting place. And we are the only two in the house. I dare say at this stage we are the only sane Barovians left here. You have seen that there are some who still dwell here. The lovely Vistani ladies, of course, maintain their establishment, but they have their comings and their goings with their caravan. Arik is not given to words or much of anything. I rarely see him leave his bar, to be honest. I think the toil and strife and the horrors of the night have taken their toll on him. So, it is only the two of us, and we are not able to convey him to the chapel in the north of town. I do know the reverend who lives there in that chapel. He is an ally and a friend. He is willing to assist us and has a resting place for my father. But I cannot get him there alone, or with just my sister and I.
I mean, if the coin is right, I see no problem in assisting.
Gwyn is
have all-
swayed.
No. Sure.
We have all but given up on our burgomaster's office and our estate. I will take what coin that we have, and I will see to it that you are well encompassed for your assistance. Each of you. As I understand now that some of you may not be part of the same group, but it will only be my advice that all of you learn quickly how to work together. Regardless of whether you assist me or not, staying together is the best way to stay healthy, stay alive in Barovia.
Aron points at Gwyn. You know, she might be able to carry the coffin all by herself.
It is true. It is a
Or-
possibility.
Gwyn is just like, I don't know about all that.
I'm not dead strong.
I'm
You
just a
appear
little
to be quite
furball. It
strong.
ain't nothing.
Don't let her words deceive you.
But
Crane,
I,
shut the fuck up!
I will see to your recompense if these two things happen. My father is buried and my sister is conveyed to safety. I will join you on your adventure. I am no skilled martial weaponeer myself, but it does not matter what becomes of me. It only matters what becomes of my sister.
No.
And to where exactly are we taking your sister? You say to safety. None of this land seems safe.
I will agree with you on that. I doubt even Valaki, for all its reputation, is truly safe. But last I checked, my father was friends with the burgomaster of Valaki, and the town had walls, unlike Barovia itself, and something of a martial force left to defend itself. Most of Barovians here in the village also left for Valaki while they could, but my father felt it was his duty to protect what remained, and so we have been left here to the bitter end. But Valaki provides the only thing that could be considered safety, as there is, to the best of my knowledge, no way out of the fog that surrounds it.
No way
Gwyn is
out.
once again swayed by
Gwyn
this
is
newly
double
found
swayed.
father, as we say. And she looks towards her companions and is like, we can't just let him be.
And Crane is intentionally not making eye contact and completely ignoring everything
Crane,
she said.
Crane, Crane.
Yeah, Barum just kind of looks at Crane, and I'm just like, I'll take your lead on this one. Mithras was normally
It's just
our
we
our
don't have
head
to
of
take
reason.
him to town. Wait, question. Is that where we're going anyway? The whatever it's called. V word.
Are you?
Is that on our
Keyword?
path?
We're trying to
I don't have
decide
my
that now.
notes 'cause they're
Currently,
on
we
my
don't
old hard
have.
drive.
I was about to say Crane has it right. You didn't have a path.
We didn't have a path. We're
You had a
currently
letter,
now
which
just
is-
here.
You still
Yeah,
have a
that didn't
letter
do us.
that got you here from
Uh-huh.
Kolyan Indirovich, the burgomaster. You have the copied letter that you found on the road, and those are the only things that you had coming in to
Rex
here.
died.
If that makes-
Technically,
yeah, Rex just died.
the only problem right now is we don't know how to get out of the fog.
Right.
And since he's hinting at that there might be a way to get out over there, that would be pretty much the only thing that Crane is really interested in, per
I
se,
mean,
is the fact that we might be able to get out of this fog. Sir, I
Oh.
just have a
Gotcha.
few questions. I know in our short amount of time here, it hasn't been the most welcoming of places. But what makes you think that you would need such a armed escort in traveling from this town to the next?
Simply put, if I am very honest with you, the roads are not safe. And by not safe, I mean either wolves or creatures of the night, perhaps the undead, perhaps servants to the devil Strahd. Something is bound to come out. Traveling in the woods is always cautioned against if you are not in a great group of people, something that can keep a force at bay. It
What do
would be ill-recommended for the two of us to travel anywhere on our own.
I
And
mean,
even as a group of 5 or 6, our chances are still somewhat in the air.
But it would indeed be more.
what he speaks is
Possible.
truth. We definitely understand the dangers of the woods at this point.
Yes.
Wolves are sometimes the least of our concerns, although they are no small animals themselves. Oftentimes, you will see smaller packs of wolves, easily dealt with, afraid of fire, but there are a larger variety which serve Strahd directly, and they are much harder to dissuade from their purpose.
What do you know of
Maybe
Strahd?
if they get someone speaking their language.
What do I know of Strahd? That is a deep question.
Oh.
I know that he rules this land, supposedly, if you can call this ruling. I know that he is afflicted with something. Some say he is undead himself, although to look upon him is not to think so. He is strangely lively, although I think given his powers can be attributed to many other things other than his own curse. Most would call him a devil, especially among the Barovians, his own people. What I know is more historical. I am the burgomaster's son, and it was my duty to discharge justice to the people in the name of the man who would be King Strahd. However, he has retained his title of Count for now. I think it is because of an ancient occurrence between him and his father, the King Barol, from which this land gets its name. But I do not know much of this, because even to my father it was a mystery. Strahd has ruled over this land hundreds of years.
Do you know where he is ruling from?
Oh, that I can tell you quite easily. And he points at the window, and this is something that you've seen coming into town and at times peeking through the fog. To the north of town, there is a castle perched high on top of a mountain peak which overlooks the town itself. Hold on just a moment. My epic scene.
Ooh.
That is
Oh.
Strahd's residence.
Wow, very
It is
precarious.
here.
Yeah.
It is perched here, overlooking the town of Barovia, for which the kingdom itself takes its name. That
I
is
do
Castle
hope that place
Ravenloft.
has an elevator, else that would be quite the flight of stairs.
Hmm.
Flight is the right word for how Strahd comes and goes.
Oh.
He is known to shift shape according to his will.
He said
Perhaps he is of one of your kind, Gwyn. Perhaps he is a druid.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
Strahd has no
sounds
love of
like-
natural things.
While he's talking about this, Barum doesn't say anything but kind of looks at Gwen remembering the encounter we had with Strahd and remembering his interest in her, but he doesn't like say
Gwen is
anything
looking at the
this
floor.
at
Gwen
this
is
place.
looking at
Like,
the floor.
whose attention have you got?
Gwen is
It's
looking at
that
the
really
floor.
judgment. It must be that really judgmental look. Like
It's like the parent looking at Gwen. Gwen does not like that. Gwen is
closer.
so
I can't
child at
say.
heart.
I can't say that we necessarily share the same interests, but it does seem that traveling with more companions would be preferable. And I am quite done with this fog. I would like to leave it at some point for sure. So if you know of some way to leave this area, then I would be happy to assist.
Is it on the way to the castle?
Valaki?
Mm-hmm.
Valaki is past the castle. We will take the Old Swanish Road, go around Castle Ravenloft, and Morning Lord willing, we will go past the crossroad that would take you to the castle, but we will go past it. And on to Valaki. But we must go around the castle first.
Perhaps we could take him up to that point and then separate as it should be.
Why do you want to go to castle?
I don't like how he was looking at me.
Why you want to go to castle?
Again, Barham looking at Gwen
will
like,
At this
be
point,
rid of
Crane
this
is now
man.
staring at
Thinking.
Gwen. Gwen, perhaps
and
you
like
could put aside
quietly,
your
like,
attraction
whispers under
for all
breath, like, did you forget what
living
happened
and breathing
last
and
night?
apparently non-living creatures.
No, I didn't forget, Mom. I mean, dude.
If it is any help in dissuading you, I know that he has a fascination with my sister, and that is why he has decided to besiege us in our estate.
Why is that?
I do not know in particular. Strahd does not make his intentions known.
I've
He
heard that
speaks-
before.
He do be liking them women's.
He perhaps is simply a womanizer. I do not know for certain. I know only that when he does arrive, he makes it clear he is there for her and her alone. I am but an obstacle, as was my father.
Not to offend you, but you wouldn't happen to be 8 feet tall, would you? Would you?
No.
I was just
Again, I
wondering if
cannot
he
speak
has
to
an
the
obsession
motive directly,
with
but he does seem to draw some kind of satisfaction with teasing apart the weaknesses of the members of those who come to his domain. You are not the first ones to have arrived here who are strange and unlike most Barovians, to not put too fine a point on it.
Okay, let's not go there then.
Would you mind if we discussed
Oh,
our
For once, you're
our
erring
thinking
on the
with
side of caution,
with
I
our
see.
party, and we'll get back to you on that.
Certainly.
Get back to you.
I understand the need for confidence. Please let me know if you really insist or not. I will wait by the door for you and leave you to your music.
Perfect.
Thank you for
Thank you.
the secrecy.
And I
Indeed.
kind of
No more
go
party?
behind
And thank you
Gwen,
for
put
your
my hands on her back, and slowly
generosity.
push her away. like
Gwen is
we
like-
need to go talk.
Gwen is like, bye, bye.
100 pounds
At
of
this
fur bone
point-
dragging along the ground.
At this point, all mannerism and what's the word I'm trying to think of? All
Do not
form
look at
of
Daddy while he is gone.
camaraderie or
No, do not take him away.
He's
Look-
gone.
he's now no longer just smiling pleasantly.
While you guys
trying to
are
keep him
doing your party discussion, I'm gonna put some names in chat.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Gwen, what are you thinking wanting to go up to the freaking castle?
I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea.
Have you
at the time.
forgotten? Have you forgotten
No,
what
it's just-
happened last night?
I don't like how he was looking at me. You gotta understand.
So
There's-
now
there's
you wish
something
to go
wrong with
greet
with
him.
That man. No, I
Do
just
you
want
tend
him to not
to-
be able to
do
Do you
that
tend
with
to
other
run to the
people.
arms of every man that looks at you
Battle
strangely?
Pentagon.
All this aside, I think it would be a good idea to travel with them. As we notice our first night, the woods definitely are not safe, and our party is smaller than it was coming in, and we had issues.
And with the area, we do
We're not familiar
know
with
this
it.
area well.
And I think it would be a good idea to travel with this man and his sister, especially since apparently Strahd has an interest in his sister as well. It's familiar because he also has an interest in you, Gwen. We might be able to figure something out about that.
Wouldn't
may
it
be
be
able to
bad
figure out
drag
some
his attention
commonality.
over to us more, though?
Well, they're already going to have his attention if he's interested in the sister as well.
Apparently, it's very difficult to hide an 8-foot furbolg, so we
don't
may
think
be
it's that
drawing his
difficult.
attention at any point.
I could turn into some bees. Y'all won't even notice me.
Either way, I don't think we will be able to leave this area with his attention on you so much. So we need to figure out as much as we can before
And
we
it seems
actually
as though this
leave.
man may have some clue as to how to escape this impenetrable fog.
I do agree. I would like to leave this place and hopefully never look back.
Are we all in agreement then?
Whatever y'all think is best. Gwen just sort of silently, like,
More wine?
gets out of the conversation.
more wine.
Surprise, you're in Stephen King's The Mist.
Yeah.
As long as we give Andril his fill of wine, he should be keen on traveling with us.
All right.
Perhaps our newfound friend here of the captain of sorts would mind accompanying us. That way we can increase our strength in our party.
Are you already a captain, Aaron?
No.
It was more just a quote because he said he was sailing.
Gotcha.
Because
There
I
is
wasn't sure if
strength
he
in
was technically a
numbers.
swashbuckler, or if we knew he was a pirate, or if he just said that he was sailing.
You don't know anything.
He's
Exactly.
like, no,
That's why, because you
swabbed
said
the Phuket.
you said your crew, so that's why I called you captain.
Are the party decided?
I think so, yes.
All right. The 5 of you are making your way out the door to meet back with Ismark, who waited outside.
To be fair, I did say I was with Ismark because I'm not part of their party yet.
That's true. Did you just depart immediately, Aaron?
I went with Ismark to wait.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Now we know.
The 3 ladies try to stop Barum. Actually, they try to stop Crane,
Oh.
which is odd. But the eldest one, who you learn shortly is Alenka, approaches Crane and says, "Did you happen to pay for your lodgings yet?"
I believe I tried to speak with the bartender on the price of lodging. And he was
Don't
quite
worry about him. He is not very useful in that regard. But if you haven't made your arrangements already, I had a proposal for you in lieu of payment.
Oh, intriguing.
Gwen is listening.
Perhaps the 4 of you could maybe stay for another night? Some other time. I understand if you're busy this day, but if you would bring that strapping young dragonborn back with you, we might be interested in letting you get this one for free.
Crane looks over, glances at Barum,
I'm just looking at the ceiling.
glances
like,
back,
eh.
glances back, and leans in just to whisper. We could possibly arrange it.
Then it's a deal. Toodles, y'all. Have a good rest of your day.
Good night. Good
Yes,
day,
have
my
a fine
ladies.
day yourself.
As I
And with
kiss,
that-
I kiss her hand.
Oh,
Alenka
just
is
bard things.
incredibly pleased.
Yeah, bro.
As the 4 of you depart, you hear her sisters, Mirabelle and Sorvia, go into screech mode. You can't hear what's being said, but it's like whisper screeching at Alenka.
Fangirl mode.
You depart the Blood of the Vine Tavern, which in the daylight reveals that the sign has been scratched. Was that always there? There's now an N where the F should be in of. It now reads Blood on the Vine. Not sure if that was always there or not, or if it was just mist in the darkness, but Ismark is waiting by the door. Aaron has accompanied him, and he looks up expectantly as the four of you approach.
The bar owner, my goodness.
We have decided to. She's just... Meanwhile, Crane again is just trying to keep his composure as he merely says, "We have agreed to help you."
Fantastic.
Don't show your jealousy. It's fine. Don't worry.
I am so pleased. Let us depart post-haste. It is still relatively early in the morning. We may perhaps get my father bird and get on the road, make it to Vallaki before nightfall. It will spare us another day in this God's forsaken town.
Really quick, is there any way,
Is there a
anywhere to
restroom?
sell?
Is there a
No.
what?
Is there a
Anywhere-
restroom?
Anywhere to sell wares around here?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where?
There is,
Where
but
may I sell wares?
since
Where's
we are...
the
Where,
where's?
There is a place
Where's?
to do so, but since we are more or less accomplices, perhaps friends soon, I will hasten to add that this is not a good businessman. My father was not on great terms. He's not bad, as far as I know. Does dealings with the Vistani, which is touch and go many times. But
So,
if you seek to do business, if you want to trade your goods here, pick up what you may try to reach Bildrath's Mercantile.
is there someone more
actually-
trustworthy to sell to in the town we are heading to?
In the heyday of the town, there may have been. Unfortunately, he is the only businessman left in town, especially now that the Vistani have not made their camp here.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm just a poor little furbolg. I ain't got much money, so if if there was someone else who could maybe lend us some coin.
Roll a persuasion check, Gwen.
Oh shit!
What did you think was gonna happen?
I don't know.
She's just trying to make him her sugar daddy, is what she's doing.
I mean, yeah,
Apparently.
that's what I'm trying for. My -1 persuasion. Got
Oh,
him.
Lord.
Right at 10, dude.
Just as though it's hard to hide the furbolg, it is hard to hide the furbolg's
You can
intentions.
take the furball out of the woods, but you can't take the woods out of the
Not rough.
furball.
Gwen trying to flirt is like, haha, so like, can I get some money, please? Money, please.
I am willing to assist you, of course, even on credit if necessary. But such is the
Credit?
nature of our relationship with Mr. Bildrath himself, that the money I have on hand will not get me very far either. He runs an extremely stiff bargain. Perhaps after I have touched base at my house, gotten what we can from the Burgomeister's apartments, there may be able to be something exchanged hands, but as I said, Bildrath is not a... he is a savvy businessman, but he is not a... He's not a friendly one. He is not cheap either. You
Maybe
can...
we should just go to the house first.
You can feel free to examine his emporium. He has a list of things available for shopping. It will not take you long, and I do not begrudge you the time. It is on the way out to my house anyway.
Oh, okay.
But I
Well,
think you will
let's
see once you have examined his pricing that it is not for the faint of heart.
go. Okay.
Wow.
Or for the
Okay, then.
shallow of pocket.
The Bildrath's Mercantile is directly across the street. The larger crossroad on the way to the Burgomeister's house, which is on the southern extremity of the Barovian town.
I would love that coach, man.
It is
Miss that guy.
candle lit, and it has a simple wooden sign out front which says Bildrath's Mercantile. It is not lit on the outside, however. You can only see a faint candlelight from within. So it appears to be strangely unwelcoming to guests who may be passing through Barovia, unfortunately, at this hour or at this time. Inside,
Oh,
Ooh.
you
Fancy.
become aware of racks of goods stored behind a low bar set up for doing business across. You
And
hear
sees that one.
the voice, a deep voice of a man, Barovian accent, yell from the back room, "I will be with you in a moment." And
Okay.
set on top of the bar is a paper which seems to be a bill of goods, listing common prices and items which are sold here. Let me show players.
Ooh,
Oh, that's,
Hello, Mabel.
that's
holy.
Welcome to Bildrath's Mercantile. If you would
Are we able
like,
to zoom this?
that is a
Me.
good question.
Oh, you can expand it.
Yeah, you can expand it, but I don't
But
think it
that's
gets much
about
bigger than that.
Yeah.
No haggling, stealing is a grave sin.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
You want it, you
music.
pay for it.
All
I
good
will link
shops.
it
All
in
good
the
RPG shops
Discord.
have to have
Yeah,
that.
perfect.
And you'll be able to view a full size of it. There's.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
There we
Thank
go.
you for the hydrate. Sorry.
If you are wanting to play it savvy, then
Oh, there
at
we go.
this point you can make a
100 gold pieces.
I thought there was a there's not like a it's a Pathfinder thing where they have like a appraisal skill, isn't it?
Hey, Crane.
Yeah,
do
correct.
you have some extra money lying around somewhere?
If you want to see what kind of prices these are like, you can make a flat charisma check. Just roll charisma as a attribute.
As a
These are.
Borrow.
Yes? What?
You
Sorry.
have the natural highest charisma, so
Oh,
you're
okay,
most
yeah.
likely to succeed on this. is
Okay,
why I'm
sorry.
saying.
I was looking at the list.
After observing the prices, Aro looks around. He's like, 2 gold pieces for a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, there we go.
Hey.
Barham comes to the rapid and unassailable conclusion that these prices are easily 5 to 10 times greater than any other store
are
would ever
jacked
charge
up.
you. Easily. There's not even a semblance of normalcy here. These are all ridiculously priced. We're talking 20 to 30 to 100 gold pieces for something as simple as a bedroll.
Andro places his hand on, or Crane places his hand on Andro's shoulder. It seems as though we won't be buying wine from here.
No.
A grizzled old man appears from the back room. He is a Barovian, pale and of extremely sallow complexion, but his clothing suggests that of a Vistani. He is dressed more colorfully than any of his fellow countrymen, and this brings to mind Ismark's comments about this gentleman doing business with the Vistani on a regular day-to-day scale.
Hey,
he
you got any
appears-
problems with my prices, you little shits?
Oh. No, but I was wondering what you would buy a gold ring for.
What do you mean to buy a gold ring for? I don't have need for nothing over here. None of us people in Barovia need any gold rings. We just need torches, fire, and more food. God damn it.
So no selling here?
I don't want any of your goddamn gold rings. You got anything else that's a little bit more valuable in a zombie vampire apocalypse situation? If not, then I don't think so that we're gonna be dealing with today.
Okay, thank you so much. That was very lovely to talk to you. Thank you.
Bye.
Alright, whatever. Get the fuck out of my store.
Would
Do you all
anyone else
leave?
like to deal with the business?
I was about to say, do you all leave or does anybody stay?
I have no interest.
I'm outie, dude.
I'm not that poor.
Ismark is waiting in the street patiently and looks
Y'all
at the-
come back now you're here.
He doesn't
I
have
know
an
you'll be
eye.
back. I'm the only store in town.
Fuck you.
He doesn't have an I told you so look, but he has a very sympathetic like, yep, that's the way it is in town look.
That's him.
I assume you're not the
Lord,
proprietor.
Mark.
Yes, and
does-
quite the welcoming fellow.
Quite the
Isn't he,
character.
though?
How
Yes.
does he stay in business?
Because he's, as he says, truthfully, the only seller of
You
supplies. in
you
the
hear
world.
him yell out the back. Cause they always start telling.
Regardless of him being the only one who can sell any kind of material in town. Surely nobody can afford his prices.
If they are desperate adventurers like yourselves, they will do their best.
So there are many more who come through here then.
Like I have said, you are far from the first. It is unusual to get travelers, but from my lifetime, I can remember dozens, perhaps, who have come through here. Small groups sometimes in 3s, sometimes 4s, maybe 5s, but each of them ends up being grifted by that hideous Baldrith character. And he manages to bring in the supplies cheaply because he trades with the Vistani fairly. If you can find a Vistani caravan, if you can trust them, they can turn out to be worthy allies and decent tradesmen. You will only sometimes get jilted when trading with Vistani. But Baldrith has turned it into an art form in order to make money off of those poor adventurers who pass through here. Not everyone is so lucky to come in as well equipped as yourselves. Also to note, many of you have managed to hold on to your equipment, to your rations, things like that. There are many who trapped through here who, in various circumstances, arrived with almost nothing. And in that situation, the 30 or 40 gold in your pocket would suddenly look much better as a torch.
Who has 30 or 40 gold?
I see.
I don't know about the rich
Cries and
fellers,
poor.
but I certainly don't have that much gold or any.
I'm working on it, Rex. Give me time.
Very well. Lead the way to your home and to your father.
All right,
Yes.
let us continue. He leads you to the southern fringe of town, so, Crossroads, Blood of the Vine was here, Baldrith Mercantile is here, continuing on this crossroad down to the edge of Barovia itself. You
I
find
don't see a
yourselves...
map.
There's no map yet.
Oh, okay.
Just
Oh,
because I wanted it to be, yeah, just me.
Okay.
I
You just kept saying this crossroads and all that. I'm like, am I supposed to be
No,
seeing
no, I
that?
was physically doing it because you have physical map. You have me. Look
Oh,
at me. I am like a parchment you can write upon.
He is the map.
He's the map. He's the map.
So, you march straight down that road without turning. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and have all 5 of you roll perception checks for things that might be happening in town.
Perception.
Dice
Got 'em.
roll.
Bam.
Dang, nice crane.
Dang, Crane.
Crane. Most of you are focused on getting out of here as quickly as possible, to be frank. After the encounter with Baldrith, after the Death House incident, there's
Andril
not
is still a
lot
little
of
bit,
great reason to stick around or to pay attention. And the town doesn't have much of note to return to your interest. The windows remain boarded, the candles remain unlit, there appear to have been at one point more merchants in town. There are signs for places like lapidary and blacksmiths and stables, all of which are empty, cobwebbed, run down, in one state of disarray or another. Crane! You spy the only sign of activity that seems to slip past the notice of everyone else. You spot what appears to be an old woman. White hair, long and stringy down her face. She's quite, frail looking, very thin, very bony, and yet she has a cart pulled up on her hands and she seems to be struggling, as an old woman might, with a load of a hand cart. There are several
Heck yeah,
sacks
Coochie Man,
inside.
let's do it.
It doesn't appear to be immediately be a corpse cart or anything as hideous as that, but it's like, a bunch of vegetables in the backs, perhaps. She's making her way down an alley, and she looks up and notices you, and her face doesn't really betray any recognition or anything, but she's just like... And then she bows her head again, letting her hair fall back over her face, and then she sadly trudges on with the cart.
Crane is not a good person. Let me me just reiterate that.
As the
Wow.
party puts the town into the distance, the last thing Crane sees is this old woman very, very sadly start knocking on one of the doors, as if expecting an answer. And as the town fades into the fog, which is still quite
crazy.
present, you don't notice if the door is answered or
She just gets sucked in by like a demon.
Bye,
She
Granny.
gone.
Hello,
With that-
motherfucker.
you arrive at the extremely rundown. Ismark was not kidding when he
Wow.
mentioned that this house had seen better days. It appears that
Better
even
years.
amidst the time-worn structures of Barovia, the Burgomaster's house has not just been aged, but actively destroyed. Let me go ahead and have... We already did perception. Let's have the druid and the... Not the wizard, the two rogues. The druid and the two rogues make survival checks.
Not a
Oh, I'm
rogue.
trained in it. Woo!
Oh, that's right, you're a fighter. Go ahead and make a survival check as well. You're more concerned with earthly things. This isn't an arcana
If
thing.
I'm
This
trained,
is
I always forget. Do I just do advantage or do I do?
No. Trained only adds your proficiency bonus. That's all it does.
I'm trained in survival.
Andrew is apparently still drunk from all
if
that
you're
wine.
trained in survival, go ahead and roll Barum as well.
Me and Aaron up here.
Boom.
Oh
Okay.
shit, me and Aaron and Barum. Sorry, Andrew.
And
You ain't doing so hot.
Andrew,
He's still
Andrew.
tipsy.
Lynn, and Barum. Okay. Andrew doesn't take note of it, either because of the wine haze or because he is simply set on the path and doesn't really care to notice what is going on. In amongst the tracks around the house, there's a cobblestone path, but there's also many what appears to have been at one point a garden, perhaps some nice landscaping if there had been servants to take care of it at one point, all overgrown, but a lot of the rushes and weeds have been tamped down, and it appears to have been a great host that has done so. There are humanoid footprints right beside large, much larger than normal wolf footprints, tracking all around as if making circles around the house constantly, to a point where they were starting to make ruts in the garden with their pathways. Great number. It's hard to be precise with the number, but this would have had to have been at least a dozen or so assailants at any given point in each track to make this much headway. Also, all of you notice, not just those people who made the survival check, but all of you notice that the house itself appears to have been scorched, burnt, raked. There are claw marks on the low parts of the house where, creatures around 6 foot or so would have been able to reach. The immediate thing that comes to your mind is that when Ismark was saying they have been besieged, he meant it quite literally. This house has been cornered and surrounded by wolves, zombies, maybe worse, in the days that have preceded your arrival.
How old are the tracks? Are we able to tell that from our survival check?
Actually, yeah. I will say Barum and Aaron are the only two who are able to put a specific date on it. It appears that several days at least have passed since anything has been here.
Okay.
Which is the only thing that makes a difference in the story, perhaps. There's been a few days since anything has been here.
Okay.
But then before that, they were here for quite a while. Enough to make trails in the garden.
Well, I could see why you'd want to leave this place.
I am sure that is
Awful.
quite evident now.
Yeah.
Anything to get out of here. He
It
goes up.
seems quite the lovely home to me.
Crane's like home sweet home.
Heck
I'll put a wizard tower in the back.
Does it have a
Um,
library?
It did. Had to use the books for kindling. Keep warm at night.
Crane's like, fuck this place.
Crane tries to hide
This is
his
cursed.
Disdain.
Crane tries to hide his disgust just slightly as he says, when times are tough, I suppose we must resort to what we must.
How long were you guys being besieged for?
Months.
Wow.
Months. My father passed away 3 nights hence. And for reasons I cannot explain, truly, that attack stopped when he died. I suspect he will return, Strahd, with company, but is this a strange way of giving respect to the dead? I do not know.
Doubtful.
I
We
can
should,
only
we
agree
should
with
hurry.
Let's make haste.
You don't know of anything that possibly could have angered Strahd.
you. Angered Strahd. How do you
that your father
anger
might have
a
done.
devil
Disrespect.
living?
Living.
Well, no.
Living,
We did
anything.
not commit any personal act, to my knowledge. It is an interest that he took, especially in my sister. It was always her he was looking for when he
When did
attempted
the
to gain
interest
entry
in
to the house.
her take place? How long has he been interested in her?
For the duration of the siege, I think. We did not see much of Strahd before then, thankfully.
Did anything
Crazy
Was there
Happen.
anything
happen?
that happened?
No. Yeah.
LOL.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew in particular.
Let's roast the sister.
Let,
We must
let's
ask
find
her.
your let's find your sister.
Oh, I thought you meant literally for a moment. I was like,
No.
Let's Joan of Arc that bitch.
we will see if she's a witch.
Ismark approaches the double doors leading inside, which, although sturdy on their own, look like they have had some kind of modifications. There are bolts driven through from the backside that are protruding from the front, ruining what otherwise would be an amazing piece of carpentry. As Ismark raps on the door, you hear a voice from inside yell, "Goy! You'll never take me alive!"
I
And
like her
Ismark
already.
shouts back, "No, it is me. It is Ismark. Let us in. I found help." And you hear a soft footing of steps behind the door, and then suddenly, poof, sound of something heavy being lifted and a board being tossed to the side. It clatters boom, with the heavy sound of wood hitting the concrete floor. The door is slowly pulled apart, and you see, standing in the darkened hallway, Irina Koyanovich.
Wow.
Gwyn, keep control of yourself. Show some
Wait, I
respect.
can't see her. Hang on.
I
hey.
kind of whisper to Crane, do I have to?
Irina,
As long as you're
most notably,
respectful and don't cause any issues.
doesn't really look like her brother. She is of a darker tone to her skin. She has darker hair to Ismark's light gray. Nothing in the way of a family resemblance, although they immediately grab each other in a sort of martial salute, awfully stiff, but it seems to be for the times by the elbows. And Irina looks gratefully at Ismark and says, I'm glad you made it back safely. We managed to hold down, but nothing happened again. Ismark, for his sake, says, do not worry. I think I have found us some assistance. Please. And he introduces each of you by name, Crane, Gwyn, Aaron, Andril, Barum, to Irina, who looks at each of you with sharp, shrewd eyes. It seems like, unlike her brother, she does not possess necessarily the same tact, where Ismark would beat around the bush, act more like the burgomaster. She was hefting a greatsword, and she only sheaths it when Ismark is done introducing each of you in turn. But she keeps one of her hands resting on the pommel throughout the rest of her time with you. She's an extremely edgy person, and, not without cause.
Love a woman who can fight back.
I am pleased to meet each and every one of you.
Gwyn.
Aron kind of gives
Don't worry about it.
as much of a regal bow as he can, being a sailor. A fair lady never had a shanty put to her beauty.
Excuse me?
Gwyn's like, no, competition.
we all want in her, apparently.
Make a persuasion check, Aaron.
Like a mama. A mummy.
It doesn't take a perception check to notice the only other thing of note within this building. First of all, the age is immediately apparent, but it doesn't appear that the battle damage has come in here. There's no sign of like wolf tracks or burning on the interior, although everything is not being taken care of. Dust covers everything. Age
What do you need,
is
Gooch Man?
destroyed a lot. The only lights are coming to the left, whereupon you see a coffin, rough-hewn, not ornate at all. It looks to have been carved by hand. And you can just barely see, poking out with the lid removed, currently sitting to the side, the pale, waxen face of what must be Kolyan Indirovich,
Can we
the
cover him
burgomaster.
or something?
Gwen,
Gwen
have
is
some
like,
respect
time to
for
show
the dead.
off. Get the guns out.
Oh goodness.
Oh, okay.
Now I have both the
Crane
siblings
is
here
just
to
going
watch
to
me.
do a simple bow.
Yeah,
saying,
Barum just
nice to meet
bows and says, "It's good to see you in good health, my lady."
What?
you. Bard things.
Bard thing.
Gwen's like, no! No!
Gwen
I'm
is
like-
discovering the -1 charisma to her horror.
I'm like, hey there, Arena. How are you doing? Might I say you and your brother are just spicy people.
Spicy. I've seen this kind of flirting in like real life. May I just say, it's
Isn't this from the like Goofy movie?
this guy. It's gotta be from some Disney movie.
It's
Literally,
from
this 8-foot furball gets just like, mwah.
It's
It
from
sounds
like
real
so-
life
movie.
of Round Frog, except for it's actually 5'2". It's
Did
what
you
you
actually
see in
use
real life.
this?
Oh
Crazy.
god.
Alright.
And Barum
I
just
should've
like,
known.
she's
never
8
has a
foot.
lady cast such light upon such a
Irina
desolate
notices
land.
each of you,
Damn
but
you, Barum.
Aaron, after making your, I won't call it an advance, but after making your
Oh.
compliment, you notice that Irina is pleased, but same indication as before, she's much more to the point than her brother, and the corpse of her father is right there.
Now might not be the best of times.
So while
to be
she
sitting
appreciates
on
the
it.
kind words and everything, after everybody is done giving a brief blurb, she essentially snaps and goes, anyway, to business.
Gotcha.
Aye,
Yes,
aye.
ma'am.
Aye, aye.
True. Is there a cover? So is there a cover just like halfway off the casket, or is it like
Yes,
up like
you
this?
notice that the cover is currently leaning against the great table. What would have been a very nice dining room, which is now essentially acting as a what's the word for? It's not a funeral home, but like the place they keep the body.
Like
Crematory?
the viewing.
Mortuary.
Mortuary.
No.
That's more or less the idea.
Okay.
It's sort of a homemade morgue. They tried to make it as cool as possible, closing off the curtains, keeping candles only to observe what appears to be some kind
Super
of holy
crazy,
ritual.
Gooch Man.
The
You've heard
visitation.
visitation, that sort of idea. It appears that they do serve this Morning Lord, which is not a patron deity that any of you have heard of. It seems to be something specific to Barovia, but the holy symbols of this entity are bolted to all the windows as well.
Crane is going to take some interest in the rituals of it,
Okay.
but not
Is
really.
nobody reminded of sun scale?
I mean, I do still have his talisman in my bag.
Gwen is like, have y'all paid your respects yet?
We have had ample time to do so. Irina seems like she wants to say more, but as Ismark cuts in quickly, she bites herself and nods as response.
Gwen will cover the casket.
Okay. The casket has been covered.
Strong lass.
Yeah, strong lass. Irina comes over and says, we've made poles for holding the coffin. We will need 6 of us to be holding it. I will go before us, if it is alright. I will hold a symbol to the Morning Lord, both to assist us and to see that respect is done to my father. If we are ready to depart, I am ready to be rid of this blasted house.
I guess we're ready.
Lead the way, my lady.
Okay.
Did not Ismark
lady.
say that there were supplies and things to take from here first?
True.
Ismark nods at this and goes and fetches the supplies, which is a bag that he throws over one shoulder and another bag he throws over the other. And says, "Here contained the wealth of the great Koryanovich clan."
Is that all money?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
But it is a good deal of money.
If it was,
When?
it might not be so easy to carry.
What?
We know you're not used to holding money in your hands, but it does weigh a bit more.
Are you trash talking me, Craig?
Poor girl things.
I am from a forest. We do not even have money.
Exactly.
Do not trash.
Barum just gives her a sympathetic look.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
At this point, she doesn't know what gold coins are. She's just like, is
Just-
that money?
Pats her on the shoulder. Just like, it's okay.
Jordan's just
Or-
like, no.
Aron is
Please
going to
stop.
take position by the coffin, ready
Okay.
to hoist.
Gwyn will as well.
It is 6 people needed to carry. If, you know, you may be able to swing it with 4, but 6 is the respectful number. So the 5 of you plus Ismark end up hoisting the coffin aloft, lidded
Just think of
and
that me-
sealed. And, Astronomia, with Irina leading, she takes one of the symbols. She doesn't even bother with real proprietary. She goes to the door and rips off the one that had been guarding there and
Okay.
holds it to her chest as she leads the way down the streets. You go the way you had come and proceed northward past the Blood of the Vine. There are 3 faces in the window
Oh, I wonder who they
looking
are.
out and
Wonder
Wait.
who.
doing like this as you pass by. In the window, they don't make any noise as you pass by. I will have the 5 of you make more perception checks, please, as you continue to your way to the opposite end of town, the northernmost fringe, where the chapel door.
What are we rolling? Sorry, what?
Perception.
Perception.
The most common skill to roll.
R.I.P.
Perception.
Barm is apparently distracted
all
by the
the
3 women
teens.
in the window.
Oh no,
Yeah,
there's another
that's
one.
true.
Aron.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're distracted by the other.
Mildly
Yeah.
Distracted by the
Steering
presence
at
of
her,
your
leading the
pal.
way, are you?
Trying to focus on keeping it aloft, noting
Very much enjoying her
the
leading.
silence of the band heading
Hey.
to the chapel.
Exactly.
Okay.
You notice out of the corner of your eye, in an alley, that you see what appears to be a wizened old woman. White hair, down her face, dressed in rags, hunched over, thin little arms, carrying a sack
Bitch is
over
back.
her shoulder, emerging from an open door in
Oh
an
my
alley.
god.
Wow.
You haven't talked with Crane, so you don't know if it's the same door or where, you know, what happened. You just know that she's emerging from it. The sack is on her shoulder, and she, with great effort, tosses it over her shoulder and into the cart. And it just kind of unceremoniously flops into the bottom of this little handcart. She goes and gets settled behind the wheels, looks up, makes eye contact with you, and just kind of trudges away.
Aron is going to quickly turn his eyes to the much more pleasant figure that he's following.
So be it. Alright. You make your way to the chapel. I'm not even reading. I don't want to like.
You don't want to.
From the situation. You arrive at Barovia Chapel,
Heck yeah, she
where
is.
Ismark promised a friend and ally still dwells. The chapel is dimly lit, but there does appear to be some kind of candlelight, perhaps, coming from within. It is a very simple, sad affair of a chapel. Not really anything you could compare to a monastery or a cathedral, but it seems to have served the Morning Lord well in a happier time. As you approach, the doors are thrown open, and a hunched, aged, balding figure appears dressed in the robes of clergy. His eyes are sunken in sad, and he bears the now familiar ghostly visage of one who has dwelled here overlong, of a Barovian. This man beckons you inside without a word and directs you straight into the chapel, where there's only a very simple left is the Reverend's dwelling room, a simple bed with nothing but a chair and a desk inside. And to the right is what may have been at one point an office, but it is now in disarray and starting to become overgrown with weeds. Straight on, in past the pews, he leads you to the altar, where he beckons you to set the mortal remains of the burgomaster down. Having set him to rest here for a moment, the Reverend makes a quick sign over the coffin, and then turns to each of you. Ismark, I know. Irina, I know. I will make myself known to the rest of you. I am Father Donovich. I have ministered to this flock for many years, and the three of them are now become two. And I think it best if even the two of you make yourselves scarce as quickly as possible. I have heard the ill tellings that have befallen you. I would urge you that we would bury your father with all haste. It would be best to wait until the dawn, but we have waited past this time, and I do not think another night would be wise. Need a message request?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No. Need
Things
to
be
message
happening.
real quick. Oh no.
He's
Oh,
like,
no.
what do we want to do? Do we want to make them fight?
No.
Oh
Make
no
them
no
fight.
no no no!
Oh no 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 no.
Heck yeah, I knew I could get you to do that.
Get prepared to just hear. Hello, motherfucker.
Right?
Dude, that was so. I literally was like dying laughing at your voice saying that.
But
Oh,
with
you're welcome. You're
whatever
welcome.
I have to offer, which is not much, I welcome you to my chapel.
Thank you. It's very
That's all you
nice. We are sorry for your loss, and we will be departing with haste as soon as possible. We promise you.
I think it is for the best. I will perform the necessary rites and prepare the body for burial. It is good that we preserve it and protect it against any possible arise.
Protect.
I will especially make sure not to do any lefts.
Father Donovich begins performing rituals, something that Crane had expressed an interest in. Crane, you can go ahead and make your religion check, as you're essentially studying Father Donovich and learning what you can from the religion of the Morning Lord, from just what he performs and the rituals that he encants. Do the four of you, other than Crane, do anything in particular?
Aron is just gonna kind of lean up against a doorpost, just kind of casually watch.
Gwen will like fold her hands like this. Just in respect.
They might not even fold their hands, but she's just
What?
like, ah.
Well, okay, this is probably what she does for her god. So.
Do you not know?
I like not that I'm finished about the purple god. Okay.
It's your god. What would you do?
I know she's a goddess. That's about it.
Gwen only serves the great bird father, respected with middle fingers.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
I told him it.
Barum just goes up to the coffin and like gets on his knees and puts his head to the ground. It was something that they did in their tribe to pay respects to a fallen person
Gwen
in their
is
tribe.
like, are you okay?
As Barum does so,
Oh.
you become aware of a sound starting to come from deep within the chapel.
Nope. Don't.
Slowly
Alright, guys,
raises
maybe
head
we
in
should go.
concern, like,
Barum, your dark scales seem to have gotten a little bit more pale.
Yep. Are you okay, bud?
Does anyone else hear that?
I'm starving.
Is this coming from within the coffin?
It is coming from beneath your feet.
Beneath my feet? Am I sitting on someone?
No, under the.
coming from a distance, but is growing in strength and intensity, and is coming from below.
I think we should leave.
I'm starving.
Ismark, Arena, I don't know if this is what y'all had planned,
I'm
but
starving, Father.
Crane, you were just in the middle of processing some
God.
beautiful rituals and traditions that have been steeped down into archaic motions and words in a language which even the Father Donovich doesn't seem to fully understand, beginning to grasp the secrets of this Morning Lord who, based on your religion check, appears to be a deity very obviously to the morning, but also it seems the evening and would have protected them, but the way Father Donovich speaks of it is in a absent tense. He's talking to somebody who's gone and that he hopes return. And you're musing over this and hoping to draw more information for this when suddenly
noises.
I think we should leave.
Father.
Is that your stomach, Mara?
No.
Starving, Father.
Do stomachs talk?
No,
Father
I just hear
Donovich's
some
words
growling.
falter and then resume, and he has lost some of his strength, it seems, in
Who?
reciting his words. Father Donovich.
Oh.
He pauses for a moment, and his eyes seem to grow grayer and deader, but he continues in a more monotone voice.
You are distracting the priest, I think. Perhaps
No,
we
you don't
should
understand.
figure out
We need to
what's
leave.
going
We need to leave now. Can I roll a persuasion check?
I mean, you can try.
Uh-oh.
You should try to persuade a player here.
Leave.
Get out. We need to go.
What is it,
I-
Barm? What do you hear?
There is something hungry
What do you hear, boy?
for
is it,
your
boy?
flesh.
He is a dragon, so you know.
It is now rising in intensity enough where it's
Oh.
still a whisper, but it's able to reach all of your ear. Every one of you hear it. It's definitely coming from below, as if from a far place. It's not present, you're not sitting on it, but it's now like someone is bellowing, roaring, hissing with all of their might that they are
Father, what
starved.
is that?
The father continues his rituals and
Nope, we out.
closes his eyes. Ismark takes Gwen's hand and leads her back towards the front of the chapel, and he also seems to have something to say. At the front of the chapel, you can hear the noise still, and it seems to be echoing more. The direction is now harder to tell, but it's still present. And Donovich is now able to mostly drone out the sound from his direction. Ismark leans into you and says,
Sir.
I did not think that he would awaken for this, but I told you
What?
Father Donovich had some troubles of his own. It is not something we need to worry about. It is under control. But I have known for some time that Father Donovich kept his son, who is not in a good condition, as you can tell.
Son is making that noise?
That is his child.
Oh, Ismark, why would you grab her of all people?
She seemed the most panicked. If anybody else joins him, he is sitting in the front of the chapel, letting Father Donovich finish his service. Irina also seems disturbed by this, but refuses to leave her father.
Is there any
Around is
danger
going to
that may
kind
come
of-
from it?
I'm sure danger could come from it, but he is bound
Crane is
quite
going
securely.
to kind of more keep an eye on surroundings, not so much looking at kind of what's going on with the father. Basically, he's more just kind of like, because he's now, of course, hearing it, so he's kind of
Are
like
you sure? Because it sounds
being more cautious about what's going on.
Aron
I-
is going to kind of go up to up behind Irina and kind of lean down into her ear. Do you know what this is?
Oh.
Do you know what this is?
Aaron, go ahead and make a persuasion check. while the rest of you continue talking with Ismark.
Persuasion.
I fear the
Persuade her of
growth
anything.
in volume might mean a higher chance of danger, don't you?
Oof.
I do not think so. He has been there for quite some time.
The father already told us we should make haste and leave.
Okay, I say we follow his advice.
He will finish the rite shortly. We
Okay.
will place the body in the ground and we will depart forthwith.
Okay.
If you really must, I can show you that he is secure. Although I do not think we need to do so.
Fuck.
Oh no.
I did not want to bear
Crane
him
quickly
down.
glances over and gives a sharp look to Gwyn.
Gwen, ignoring Crane's look, says, maybe just a little peek would be alright, just to make sure.
Here we go.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Ismark peeks around the assembled group and sees that Father Donovich is maybe halfway through with his service and says, quickly, and leads you into the office where the weeds have overgrown and reveals a trapdoor
Lovely.
set below, padded with an iron lock for which Ismark has the key. He gently undoes the lock and leads. Who goes into the basement?
We have to go in there?
I
It
ain't going.
leads. It is a trap hatch door with a set of stairs leading into absolute darkness, and the voice grows in intensity.
Give me just a moment.
I
Clearly
am
emanating
still
from the
going. I
basement.
am trying to convince the people who are not going down in there that we need to leave.
She just turns invisible. She's just like, oh.
I literally am like, hey! And then I just like turn invisible with my little shock noise. But I'm still like, okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm
Hmm?
here. I'm
Where?
like trying to hold his hand still.
Rin-
Let me
Rin-
hold. Let me hold.
She's just
Let me
it's
hold,
like, yeah.
please.
Did anybody else want to go in? I've only heard Gwen. Everybody else staying behind? Andrew?
No.
Arona's with Arena. So.
Irona's with Arena. Andrew, are you going?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, Andrew, let's fucking go.
Alright, give me a second
You and
because I
me,
have to bring in the correct tokens. The two of you. Not him, not him, not him, not him, not him. And
Me. Me just invisible. I'm good. They cannot see me. I'm good.
They can see me.
Dude, I hope so, cause man.
Mark.
Yeah, just be stealthy.
I'm
You're a
gonna bring
rogue.
everybody down here just so we have some fun watching the exploration. But
up.
I've only got the two people down here who need to be down here. Can you see? It should be very, very dark.
It is very, very dark.
Yes, it is very dark.
Okay. But can you see Ismark, Crane, and
No, like, yes.
No.
No, it's just a black screen.
hold on, I'm gonna have to following Daddy. I'm gonna put your tokens here, but if you're not actually here, you know, you're stuck. Do not move.
That's not how you spell my name, sir. Get it
Okay.
right.
Now can you guys see?
Panic dragon noises. Ah!
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Gwyn does not have dark vision. The only source of light are the torches that Ismark
Oh.
lights.
What was
At the
that? What was that,
Ignore that. I hit a button.
You hit a button, it's fine.
sir?
It's fine.
I fear.
Yeah, you should.
Everything was fine. No.
I swear.
You know,
Ish.
I just gotta
Everything
do
was
it, dude. I
fine-ish.
just gotta.
That was from later on, sorry.
Did you see what I
Spider
typed you, Tech
climb
Bug?
A.
Of course I
Okay. Ismark motions relative to the screen to, let me ping, this side of the room. And says he is fastened to the far wall. The screams have stopped.
Oh, he not even in a cell.
They hungry, dude. They hungry.
Do you wish to examine?
I can, because I'm invisible, right?
I mean, you are not visible to the naked eye. You might be visible to a heat-seeking vampire.
Okay.
Just as a note.
Completely unrelated.
I will unpause the game. You may move freely.
Oh,
Andrew's
Lordy,
just like,
here we
that
go."
wine was good. Let's
Once
see what's in
again-
there.
Once again, I take out a torch
Mm-hmm.
and light it with druidcraft.
Okay. You have a lit torch.
Give me light, please.
Let me
Yeah, I
see.
think I figured
What
out
is
how
it
this
with you
works.
and being invisible and holding torches?
Bruh,
I
at
know.
least I got something, you know?
But you holding the torch, that takes away your something.
Someone's gonna be like, "What is
Oh.
that?
They can. It's just a floating torch. Don't
Oh,
worry about it.
What is that?
What?
Mhm.
There's
The
just
thing
a
is-
floating torch right here. Look, a free torch.
fuck is
You're
Whoa.
also only invisible for 6 seconds. It's
Ah
too
man,
bright.
who peed on the floor?
It
For real,
literally
though.
looks like pee.
There we go.
Apparently Gwyn has pissed
If you
herself.
turn-
sorry.
If you turn the color intensity down, Techbug, it makes it much less bright, but she's still holding a torch now. It's color intensity that makes it work. Alright.
Barely changes anything.
Go ahead and make perception checks, both of you, Andril and Gwyn.
Ooh, okay.
You are trying to listen for anything that is moving in the darkness.
Oh.
Great. Really killing it right now. How long has it been in game? Who knows?
More than 6 seconds
I
for
don't know
sure.
how long it's been. Could be forever. Who
You are no
knows?
longer invisible.
Oh man.
I'll spell it out.
No. I'm gonna stay next to this man's.
But
this,
it's this way.
hot man's.
Okay.
To be fair, this does say she can stay invisible until the start of her next turn or until you attack.
well, a turn
Which
is
is 6 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, a turn is 6 seconds.
Yep. A turn in combat is 6 seconds. What you guys seeing?
Quit, Techbug. I see you. Quit it.
I
Andril
shout
becomes
to Andril.
fixed on a point ahead.
I'm like, Andrew, are you okay? Andrew, what's over there, man?
He ugly.
Techbug?
He ugly.
You muted in case you didn't know.
He ugly? Oh. Is it safe to come over, Andrew?
Oh yeah, he is.
I don't know. He got some.
I can smell your blood. I can smell your blood.
This echoes in the basement.
He's loud.
I see.
He a loud boy.
Oh, it's a child. Okay. Oh, let's us depart now.
As
We
you
have-
approach Gwyn, you become aware of the creature that is practically inches, maybe
Andril?
a foot away from Andril.
Andrew, please.
It is chained to the wall. There's a band of iron around its waist to prevent it from slipping out, as well as manacles on its wrists. It is a gaunt, thin. It looks like its muscular structure has completely atrophied here in darkness and in presumably starvation. And yet, the face bespeaks one who has become vampire kind, as their eyes blaze with hunger even in the darkness of this basement, and in the torchlight, as Gwyn brings it up to bear, there's now clearly pronounced incisors of great length in the face of this being who hungers for Andril's blood.
Andrew? Andrew, let's go now.
Where are you going?
I think we've had our fun. Let's leave. It's okay. Andrew, come on. Come on, Andrew. Let's go.
Bye,
Bye.
Bye.
women.
Women.
You leave behind the shadowy figure of the vampire spawn who shuffles disconcertingly back into the shadows from the torchlight that Gwyn casts. It was using Andrew's body as cover, but as he disappears, it slinks with crazy speed over to a pillar, up it, along the wall, and back into the darkness.
How did he do that chained?
The chain is quite long, actually.
Oh, okay.
Ismark commented that it was fastened, but it appears to be a length of chain attached to the wall behind him,
Gotcha.
giving him some room to move, but restricting his movement to a small corner area.
Gotcha.
Surprise everyone, it was just me the whole time.
Oh my god.
I
I
was
knew
the
it.
turkey the whole time.
On top, the father is droning on, seeming to come to the end of his lecture, which means he's got at least another 20 or 30 minutes to go. Aaron makes his comment to Irina, who is somewhere trapped between a pirate and a weird whispering vampire spawn who are both trying to distract her from her father's funeral. And she has currently made no reply to anything you have said. Did you try to say anything else? The party's been gone for a minute or two. Nope. Okay.
Nope.
Respectfully.
He recognizes the fact that she is focused on it and decides to just give her space
We
from time to
can go
and
to the
try to wait
tropics,
to hear
sip
back from the
pina
throne.
colada.
Oh my god.
Ismark carefully
Not
relocks.
down. Wait for them to come back.
Ismark carefully relocks the trap door. Swiftly, extremely silently. He seems to have had some skill at this kind of thing. And he brings the torch with him, along with the one that Gwyn still has lit. Father Donovich wraps his sermon. It is still early in the day, maybe a few hours before noon, when Father Donovich proclaims the body fit for burial. In the time that you have relocked the trap, the wailing has started again.
Of course it has.
And Father Donovich implores each of you to quickly take hold of the burgomaster's coffin and bear him to the back of the chapel, back outside to the graveyard that extends past the chapel itself, out the doors.
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Shut the fuck up.
Hastily, the six of you bear him forth. Irina behind this time, with Father Donovich
Darn, we don't have a
Putting
good view
a-
this time.
consoling hand on her shoulder as he leads her out.
Why are you
make
shaking
it
your head, Round
true.
Frog? You know exactly what I'm talking
The
about.
graveyard. I've showed you this scene once before, but this is the view from the graveyard.
Lovely.
In the graveyard, it offers
great.
the best view of Castle Ravenloft, because Castle Ravenloft lies almost directly northward of the town of Barovia itself. And it is here, in the shadow of Strahd's great mansion perched atop the mountain, that the six of you place the burgomaster in the ground. It seems that the father was prepared for this, and as Ismark said, has had several days. The grave is already dug, and it just needs to be filled. And this occupies around 30 minutes of your combined effort of time to finish placing the burgomaster into the earth in a simple grave that has his name carved into it. Ilyan Indirovich, Burgomaster Barovia, known to the Morning Lord. Irina has long since dried any tears. As she mentioned, she has essentially put her father into the grave long before now, and it is only now that you're able to pay the respects that he is long overdue. And as soon as the earth has settled and the last shovel has been replaced back on the wall, the father, Donovich, bids each of you a pleasant journey as best that he can. Morning Lord, watch over each and every one of you. Bear these two children of the Morning Lord safely to Vallaki, and I hope that no ill will befall you.
I hope
Same.
everything goes well with that, you know. With
Gwen.
all that situation. situation. Yep.
Gwyn, make an insight check.
No! Why? Insight?
Insight.
Okay. Yay.
Oh, good.
Oh no, he typed. Oh no.
I've sent you just a quick blurb on Discord.
Okay.
The rest of you, is it time to go forthwith? Hastily.
Let us go.
Okay. You guys gather your wits, depart town. The road is close to the chapel. You only have to march a short way southward and then make your way westward to the Old Zvalich Woods. The Old Zvalich Road through these woods will bear you to Valaki. As you make your way, there is one instance. Barham!
Yes.
It's those ladies again. They've made their way out of the tavern and are
Wow.
wanting to bid you farewell. However, they are standing with a couple of Vistani merchants who are next to their caravan.
Ooh.
Two pack mules are out front. The ladies wave over to you and say, "Oh, dearie, would you come over for a moment?"
Deary.
Excuse me? Hold on.
See, Irina, he's taken.
Barham approaches
Hello,
and
my
the
ladies,
three
how may I
ladies
help
say,
you?
"Oh no, it's how we can help you, darling. You see, our friends here, these merchants, they're on their way to Valaki too. We heard you were headed out of town.
Yes.
These merchants are good friends of ours, and they know these woods extremely well. They can be persuaded to leave town a little early and go with you on your way for the right amount of coin, perhaps."
Oh. It was mentioned earlier that they can't necessarily be trusted, right? This is not in game. Like, this is me just asking GM.
What?
But that
Yeah,
they
the
could
precise
make
words
good.
Ismark said, yeah, the precise words Ismark said was like, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Mixed bag.
Mixed bag.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It really depends on the group you get attached to.
Okay.
For their part, it is a caravan of fully Vistani. There's no Barovians, there's no immediate evil-looking individuals hanging with them, no pale skins or anything of that kind. It's a merry little band. One of them is holding a lute that he seems intent on playing as he gets
It's
started.
a loot friend.
Mhm.
Luke friend.
It seems like they know how to pass the time.
Heck yeah.
However, the price seems to be settled at 100 gold or equivalent
For what?
to convince them to leave town early and go with you.
When were they
100
wanting to
gold?
leave? Dang, that is.
Days from now. They have very important business to take care of. The town, you see.
I see. Could I do a persuasion to see if I could persuade them to leave
Gasp.
earlier with
Haggling with the bard.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a roll.
Okay.
Illegal. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh?
That charisma though.
Do you promise to come
Bye,
back to town
Luke.
even sooner?
Ooh.
I don't have eyebrows like these, but
Did I ever say when I was coming back?
no, just sooner is all they need. And the sooner to be graced with your company again.
But of course.
Of course, my lady. Anything for you.
They are willing to talk
Ooh.
down the price to 50 gold.
50 gold.
Now we talking. What if we throw a gold ring in there?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot. We
They-
have.
I was about to say, they eye the gold ring, and they'll take 2 of those as payment.
2?
2.
I have
Dos.
2.
Okay. Are you willing to part with it?
Yes.
All right. 2 gold rings trade hands. Weirdly, they don't go to the Vistani caravan. They go in the pockets of the ladies. The third one out, the youngest, Sorvia, seems very put out by this and tries to talk the other 2 up. But the deal having been struck, You are
Too
relieved
bad,
of your goods,
Sorbia. Get
and the other
fucked.
Vistani merchants are able to bundle out with you.
Look at
But
that.
before you go,
Oh!
Oh,
Oh,
can I
Oh!
have 5 perception checks, please?
shit.
oh, perception check. Huh?
There's someone in the caravan.
It's
There's
the old
someone in the
lady.
caravan.
It's the old lady. She's
She's
back.
back.
She be making eye contact with more of us.
Oh, yeah.
Who do I get to pick
Surprise!
on
I
this
turned the
time?
Surprise! I turned the man into an old lady.
What
Whoa,
was
why
that?
are you
Whoa,
echoing?
why are you echoing, man?
That was actually like
my echo.
really
That was really cool.
That was perfect.
I have an echo on, that's why.
Oh, it
Wait,
worked.
Crane did this? Yeah, because Barum had the persuasion check. Crane!
Oh, no.
Yes. It is the same old lady.
Oh my
Dang it.
god.
Except the door is answered this time when she knocks. She appears to be haggling, waving her hands in the air emphatically, clenching them at one point. The family inside,
be
you
right
can
back.
see that there's
I will be
actually what
getting
appear to be
Crane
2
real quick, hold
adults, a man and a woman, Barovian style, peasantry, very low-born, arguing back. The woman has tears in her eye and appears
Aw.
to be on the verge of a breakdown. The
Aw.
old woman shoves past them and, with a feat of strength that should not be possible for someone her size, manages to push them both out of the doorway and down onto the floor. She's gone for a moment. She reemerges with a sack on her shoulder. This one's squirming. And she makes her way to her cart and throws the bag in the cart.
Does it stop squirming?
It kind of disappears out of view amongst the other
Oh.
sacks.
Gwen,
And-
Yeah? What?
Feel like
you
making
seem to
trouble?
be far more keen on this sort of thing. But I do believe that old lady has taken a squirming sack from the house.
It did appear so.
When you turn to look, you didn't catch this. This was
Yeah,
Crane
yeah,
who
yeah.
saw it. What you see is just old woman with cart. You don't see the squirming sack, but
Okay,
she
okay. I don't know about that. She just looked like she's got a cart of
turns
veggies
to
or
see
something.
Gwyn and latches her eyes onto Gwyn.
Okay, maybe she's a little suspicious.
And then she picks her cart up and starts to walk away.
Did you want to talk to her, Crane?
Perhaps it might be best to either talk to her or the 2 that she had seemed to be falling out with. Crane's just going to approach the 2 in the door if they're still
Gwyn
there.
will
If not,
follow.
they're gonna knock.
Okay. The Vistani and the rest are chilling for a second, and they see you depart and decide to give you a minute. Something must have caught your interest. Crane and Gwyn approach the open door, which is still open. The couple inside are clutching each other in a bear hug, both sobbing uncontrollably.
Oh no. Maybe we should go after the lady instead.
I'm so...
Oh man. Oh no.
Perhaps we should round up the others.
We can't. She's gonna get away. How do we know where she'll go?
She's not going fast. You,
Oh,
as you
okay.
approach
It's an
the
old lady
doorway-
with a cart.
I was gonna say, she's keeping up.
It's
with
not like
you.
she's booking it out.
Well,
of
you
there.
said she was
Like,
like she was like strong. I was like, maybe she's going faster with the cart.
You make it to
She's
the
like,
corner.
show them how we did it the old days.
Let's go!
You make it to the corner where the
Back
open
in my
doorway
day,
is.
we
You
have to
see the
use to
couple
haul this
sobbing.
cart uphill both ways.
The old lady is still making her way with the cart. She did not pick up any extra speed. It seems like she's trying to use stealth at this moment, but she's just kind of rumbling like an old lady would with a hand cart.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Maybe-
in relatively easy distance unless she hears you coming.
Maybe we should get the others then. Yeah.
Do you go get them? Do you signal them? What do you do?
No.
I'm
can't,
going
can't.
to signal to Andril to try to see
he
if
like-
I can get their attention
Summon the rogue.
summon the rogue.
to possibly at least not raise alarm.
Andrew Crane is waving at you.
I must go.
I must go.
He's like,
You
"Come."
arrive, and what do you two of you do?
It seems
So
as though
Crane
this
saw something weird.
seems
now
as though
these people
these
are
2
crying.
were taken.
All you see, Andrew, is a departing handcart, which is going into the distance.
We may have
with an old
to
lady at the front.
we may have to confront this old woman and see what her business is in this town.
Sorry, she's a little too old for me.
Oh, don't worry.
not for
We'll
that
leave
kind
the
of thing,
wooing
Andrew.
to Gwyn.
Not
Okay.
my type either.
Must be important.
Now I'm questioning. Maybe we should go just us three to be swift.
Do you signal anybody else? What do you do? She's getting into the distance.
Go, just go.
Gwyn, you can go ahead. I believe I'll see if I can wave the others to join us
Okay.
quickly.
Gwyn
I
ushers
probably
Andrew
won't
with
be-
them. With
Okay.
her.
The two of you? Crane,
Run.
what do you do?
I'm
Yeah.
going
Little
to
chick.
I'm going to see if I can wave, which Barham's not currently with us, but I'm gonna see if I can wave the two that are there to join us.
Adon and Barum, are you two entertaining the Vistani caravan currently?
I
Barm
mean,
was a child. I
Aaron was
believe.
just kind of wondering why everyone was so keen on leaving and now they're not.
Crane is waving at you from the side alley. Meanwhile, Gwyn and Andrew
Yeah.
take off after the old woman. Go ahead and make stealth checks, both of you.
Will do.
God.
Oh
That was
god.
so fancy.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
the rogue! Not the rogue!
Not the rogue!
Anything but the rogue!
Dang it, not They're just like
The 8-foot furbolg is fucking lumbering after this lady.
Andrew was not prepared to be stealthy at this moment, and that's
Yep.
his excuse. And so
Oh.
he clop, 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 his leather boots slap the floor and make noise down the way, followed by Gwyn's literal hoofbeats echoing down the corridor.
Meanwhile, Crane is going to hear this and just turn around. What happened to stealth?
Crane and the rest of them are trying to
It's too late, man.
understand what's going on. Meanwhile, the old woman is shuffling down the street with
Get
the
her!
handcart and turns down an alley.
Shit.
Do you follow?
Alleys are never good.
No, they're not.
Do you follow? Quick, she's getting away.
Go
Oh.
into the alley face and then signal Crane.
Okay, you're
So
at
I
the
can
head
see
of the
her in the
alley,
alley.
signaling Crane. Angel, do you follow?
Go in.
You go in.
Turn that corner.
You turn the corner and are greeted with a fetching young woman seated on the cart.
You're a liar.
Oh,
You're a fucking
hello.
liar. Wait.
I mean, hello.
She is as casually as possible, which is the best way to describe her behavior at the moment. Seated on the handcart and gazing whimsically at Andril, who is approaching.
Andrew,
Your
that's all you
pants are
made me.
nice.
Easy woman.
You have nice pants.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Jack Bug has to be the person.
Of
Yeah,
course he
of
does.
course.
Of course.
What are you doing?
I'm looking at your pants. What are you doing?
Okay, so Baby Dino
Hey,
is still crying, so I'm gonna
can
actually
I,
send you guys
buy your
over probably
pants?
to
Oh.
Noodles
At this
stream,
point,
so that
at
way you
this
can keep
point,
watching there, 'cause I'm
Crane
gonna have to
is
go.
if
So-
Barham and
I hope you guys have a wonderful
Aaron
rest of
are
the
not
day,
moving,
and,
he's going to
see
go
you
and
guys
catch up to the other two. Considering the large,
hey.
not stealthy chasing of
Hey.
the woman.
Gwyn
I mean-
stood
Buy
at
your
the
pants.
Gwyn got to the corner
Same.
and is staring at the old lady
Yeah.
that is now a young lady.
I don't know.
Hi, Barum.
No, don't listen to him. I've always been young.
Oh, okay.
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 Barum is busy entertaining the Vistani caravan. Sounds good. All right, see you.
Bye.
Perfect.